Here we all are again. Another episode of the Kobolds.
Point of order.
Yes,
Last week we were not live, but we do have last week's video on YouTube.
that is correct. Also, other news. I am a big dumb dummy head, and when when I calculated the dragon's flight time, I was off. And by off, I mean that instead of being 3 hours and 30 minutes after the dragon had taken flight, it has instead been 2 hours and 33 minutes. I did a recalculation, and that is what the actual time is since the dragon took off.
So does that mean that the dragon is supposedly at Dugan's Hole?
Supposedly, judging based on the timeline
Right.
from what you have gotten, yes.
Okay.
If it's following that
Assuming
timeline,
it's
which I
half
think
an
it
hour
will.
there.
All right. With that in mind, though, I think instead of giving like a, well, I think I'll still get the brief recap anyway, but I'll make it short. Last time for the Kobolds, you all had been interrupted from your rest after defeating the Quaggoths by a bunch of Duergar who had heard the commotion. By the skin of your teeth and sheer luck, you managed to convince them that you were new hires for Zardarok, to which one of them went to go give them the news that you had arrived, and the others went to their posts. After some deliberation and taming an Umber Hulk and making some rust monsters leave you alone, you took a little bit of inspecting of the massive forge area where you no doubt think that Zardarok constructed the Chartlan Dragon. After which, of course, you used the rust monsters to cause a little bit of commotion before bursting in yourselves, watching as Zardarok was about to kill his own captain, as he had let basically intruders get further than they should have gone. A combat ensued, a mighty acrobatic maneuver, and a well-placed sleet storm by Hawks Hagnar managed to obscure the arena and leaving Zardarok at a great disadvantage. Through this combat, it was quite nearly out of your favor and a near death for the party, until the tide managed to turn, and some of the Duergar who were allied with Grandolpha turned to your side, or at least made it so it gave you more of an opportunity to live. So with Zardarok defeated, Scales went to the corner over here to get a nice rest because he was very low on a lot of things. He needed the rest. As for Hawks and Nepo, you both decided to explore the area down here, which appeared to be a temple to Deep Dura, upon which you discovered basically a large manifesto by a priest, supposedly of Deep Dura, but instead a disguised devil of Asmodeus, who had been poisoning Zardarok's mind along with his madness in order to influence him and bring about basically to let the Frost Maiden continue her plans and let ice devils reign in the Dale. Upon which you saw the priest trying to escape, the both of you, and unfortunately, that's where you discover that he was in fact a disguised devil, and he managed to knock Nepo unconscious, but let him live on the condition that he would manage to escape to at least a different room for now. And that is where we left off with Skinnock as well. You had also discovered the forge being powered by a dragon heart. And that is where I think, kind of jumping myself a little bit there, but that is where I'm going to let you guys start out here. With all this commotion that you heard, Skinnock, you are heading over right there at that point.
Right here.
Now, right
And,
there.
We've gotten Meepo back up with magics.
Mm-hmm.
I think what we were discussing earlier is that we kind of have to destroy There's a theory that perhaps the dragon heart is powering the dragon, and so as a result, we probably have to destroy it.
That was one of your theories, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Skinnock doesn't have an idea for like trying to steal it but that would be a
Hawks.
kind of involved process.
Hawks also has a bunch of numbers. I don't know if he told other people about the numbers.
He would have,
That
yes.
is true.
Okay.
But we
And
haven't
then
found
also-
an applicable place
Right.
for them yet.
And there's also a couple of places down here we haven't searched, like to the far eastern wall, and then the place where the devil hid.
Right. Let's try this hallway, because I think this goes down to where the devil was.
Which hallway are we trying?
Down there is
This
empty
Middle
space.
Eastern one.
Okay, you're talking about this right area right there. Gotcha. Okay.
Go ahead.
Alrighty.
Is
Hawks will take the lead on this, because
Scales staying in his hut?
No, I'll come out now. I'm feeling much better.
Okay.
Oh, goody dokily. Let's see here. Okay. As you head down that way, you can see that there is a set of double stone doors blocking your path. They are quite large, quite heavy looking.
Guess I'll help Hawks move them if he needs help.
yep, Hawks will go for it.
Yep, and have the cannon right up, like prepared to fire as soon as the door opens if it needs to.
Oaky dokily. Thankfully, it doesn't take much of a strength check to push them open, but it does take both of your combined efforts to heave them open. And the room, what you see in front of you, is a small hallway. Which, if I can get roll 20 on my side here.
A small hallway, or you could say a small way.
Ooh. Yeah, you could say that.
You could call it that. Also, hang on, I need to change. There we go. Now the chat should see the rules and the rolls. All right. Okay. So, the hallway that you see in front of you. You see two sets of double doors forming the opposite side of the corridor. You see something that catches your attention. You notice that bolted to the walls are dozens of black boxes, each one measuring about 8 feet tall, 1 foot wide, giving off a low hum.
Are they the same hum from each
Interesting.
box?
Same
Or is
hum
it
from each
different
box. It seems to be constant throughout the room.
So, if I take, for instance, a maybe a torch from my pack, since I've got a bunch of torches that I haven't used, and I throw it down the hallway in front of these ominously humming black boxes.
Are you going to do such a thing?
Yeah, I'm going to toss a torch.
Okay. You toss the torch, and as soon as the torch kind of gets around, I'd say to the middle of the hallway, the intense thrumming gets even more intense. And as that happens, you notice the air start to crackle with electrical energy, cracking through each individual box, all throughout each other, and then to the center of the room, scorching the torch in the center completely until it is disintegrated. Well, not disintegrated. It basically turns to ash. You assume from the excess electrical energy.
These boxes, do they have any markings or writing on them?
No marking that you can see. They do appear to have, I'll say, without an Arcana check being needed, I will say while there is no Dwarven writing, there is at least some manner of etching that would indicate perhaps some sort of magical rune.
I see.
What's this thing that leads up to the walls? Is it like a pipe?
Let's see.
It's like battlements.
So you cannot get up there, Meepo, because those are about 20 feet tall. But yes, those at the very top of those are in fact battlements. Because those two, these two right here, are about 20 feet tall. You actually cannot
Right,
access
those
them
are
from
the
the
towers
ground.
the Duergar were standing on, that's right.
Correct. I will say though, when you entered the room, I will say you did notice that on the top, like at the very back of these towers, there were in fact ways to go further in. There were like different sets of stairs. You did notice that as you were walking this direction, I will say.
Well, this looks like an important room if it's got defenses like this. So, can we like, what are the boxes attached to, and how firmly?
From what you can tell, they seem to be embedded in the wall, so they seem fairly well attached. But I will let you make an investigation check to study something further.
Yeah, without getting into the danger zone.
I would help.
Okay,
Oh.
you said it about the same time, so I'll let that go through. So it's a 21 instead of a 10. Let me see what I can tell you here. So what you can tell from those boxes. Let's see here. You notice. So first off, they are very clearly well embedded into the wall. Not really any getting around that. But you do notice there are some grooves in the wall where the runes are. That kind of... It seems there are carvings from each individual box that go into the line. Almost kind of like, to describe it in modern day, like almost like circuitry, in a sense. That all seem to be going behind the back door. So it does seem like there is some sort of power source, you might think, that is beyond the door.
So if we can get across, we'll be able to shut it down and get back more easily. The question is getting across.
Did the torch go up when you hit the ground, or was it just because it was in between the walls?
It sounded like it was like charging up when the torch entered the area.
So maybe a real quick run through before it has a chance to get us? Do we want to try sending the cannon through? Since it's...
We can, but the cannon is not exactly the definition of speed.
It clatters next
true.
to you,
How fast
clanking.
can it go?
15 feet in 6 seconds.
It can't even move faster.
It is slower than we are.
It can
Does it
get
have
to
dash?
like right about in the center of the room using
Does
this
it have a
basic
dash?
movement.
Possibly. I don't know. It doesn't say it does, but it also doesn't preclude having a dash if those are the basic actions.
I think that in lieu of attempting to get past this, we should kind of work with the notion that there must be another way back there. If someone can control that space back there, and we should look down another path for now.
I mean, if nothing else, these towers sections probably go back there. So we could try to climb up here first. Right? If these have if this little white spot on the map is a stairway or opening that goes down there, that's probably where it goes. We could also try going around.
Well, I've got a good distance of rope. If I could potentially toss it up there, we might be able to create some way of getting up.
Makes sense to me.
If I can grab one of my javelins and try and get a rope up there, see if it'll snag on the battlements.
Does anybody have a grappling hook? I thought we might have bought one.
Should have. I have a crowbar, which is close.
I thought I remembered asking for one somewhere. Maybe that was
Oh god, we did as
in
well.
another life or something.
I was almost about to say that I thought you were gonna to kobold it and tie a rope around the crowbar and toss it up like a makeshift grappling hook.
If
kobolds.
If Hawks wants to go big again,
I have
you
patents.
could probably do that.
I would be using my last use of going big to do that. But
Never mind then.
like I said, I was going to suggest using a javelin.
We could also
that
lasso
works.
one of the battlements.
Does it look like the battlements are within lassoing range?
I have
With long enough rope,
300
anything is
feet of
possible.
rope.
Okay, well, I have 35 feet of rope, so I would like to attempt to lasso the battlements, if that's alright.
Sure. Let's see here. I would say roll me a dexterity check if you're going to attempt this.
Okay. I do not have the best dexterity, but
17. Okay. Not taking too much time at all. You quickly manage to tie a little bit of length of rope together, and you kind of like see where you're going. Oh, it's almost like aiming a javelin, except you're twirling it more than aiming it. And you toss the rope up there, and the loop of the lasso manages to catch the edge of the battlement, and you pull it taut. It works.
alright. So Hawks is going to attempt to scale it then.
Okay. You manage to climb up without too much issue. Takes you a couple seconds. You get to the top.
I'm just going to uncheck my rope in my inventory because it exists at 35 feet, but it exists right here at 35 feet.
Right, I get you. So let's see here. So now that you
Draw
are
something like that.
Haha, exactly. Let me see here. Okay. So, what you notice as you get up to that area is you notice, as the same with the other side, there's a set of stairs leading down this direction. As you head down that way with your kobold vision, you come up to a T intersection from your current line of sight. I will say roll a... Actually, no. This will need a perception check. Despite the grinding of the gears and the sounds of the forge, you do hear sounds of raucous laughter coming from this direction over here. Clanging of glasses, shouts and cheers, but kind of... It's weird. Even though it's like sounds like celebratory, it's more like half drunken, half sounding bored. It's very strange.
Can I sneak up and try and take a peek around the corner?
Sure can. Roll me a stealth check. I'll say with advantage because of the noise. 11. Okay. You peek around the corner. And this is not completely accurate to the map here. But let's see here. From that current place, what you would find is what I can only describe as a loud, what seems to be like a similar sort of barracks as the one on the first floor, but this one has several tables and chairs kind of propped up. It seems like there's some sort of celebration going on here. Perhaps a preemptive victory celebration, it seems. And a little bit more description of the room itself. You see currently 6 Duergar sitting on stools around 3 hexagonal tables in the middle of the hall. Each kind of table has what looks to be a copper keg up top them. The room is kind of lit by some braziers with glowing hot coals providing light, and you can of course see 9 doors embedded in the north, east, and west halls. And you hear, just like upstairs with the 2 sons of Zardarok, loud snoring that you can hear past everything.
I see.
But as you peek around the corner, it seems they do not notice you. They are too preoccupied with whatever celebration they are having.
Alright, then I'm gonna try to creep this way.
Alrighty, as you creep over that way, the hallway becomes more open to you. Alright, You see the hallway open up to you. Another hallway heads to the east. Another T section down to your south. And what you assume leading to the other battlement is a little miniature tunnel around that way. I will try and reveal that. Because spatially, it would make sense for you to know where that is. And of course, you see the 2 sets of double doors on the opposite side of the room that you were looking into. You can hear the thrumming from this side as well.
Interesting. Does this double door have any, like, switches or anything on it?
No, it does not. But, because of the previous check that Skanuk made, you notice... Oh, no. Okay, you know what? Polygon Reveal Tool is getting its time to shine today, because it's being more helpful to me. You notice that the little circuitry that you saw seems to come out from the door, go into the ground, and heads into this room over here.
Alright. Well, in that case, I would like to check this door then.
Okie dokie. So another set of double doors dawns this direction. However, this seems to be... Let's see here. Let me double check where you are on the map. Okay, you are there. Which means, to describe this, what you see right here is another set of double doors. However, these ones have grates that you can see through. Almost like a portcullis, but not quite. And will reveal what you see. Nope, my dog is
A
barking.
very large kobold peeks through the door.
You see 2 of those Duergar hammerers currently not quite asleep, but appear to be in stasis of some kind right here. And then these 2 pillars, right? Did you see right here? One of them, to the one to the right here, has a switch on it. And while you consider what to do from here, I will be right back as my dog is barking. I need to find the cause. 1 sec. Be right back.
In the meantime, does anybody plan on following him, or are we all just gonna stand down here and wait to see what happens? Because there is still a rope tied to the embattlement.
Yeah, I'd follow up.
It's the other way, but yeah.
Oh. And fool them.
I think some of us ought to stay down here, but at least one person should follow him.
I'll stay on here.
I
Yeah,
think
I'll
if
stay on
someone
here.
was going to follow me, I would like to have Meepo disguised as Grandolpha.
That's for sure.
That is true.
Yeah, because the cannon can't climb, so I'll hang out down here.
Yeah. Well, then I guess we'll send Meepo in. Meepo will begin her journey, but I won't go any further until I get our wonderful leader back from his dog duties.
Did someone mention me?
I did. Meepo is planning on following up and following after Hawks. So, I'm disguised as Grindolph. I'm going to walk down this hallway
Alright.
confidently.
Okay. So
And
you're
then-
going unstealthed, I assume?
Unstealthed for now.
Alright.
I'm gonna check around this corner before I go any further, though, see what's going on.
Alright, you will see the same sight that Hawk saw, which was a half celebration of sorts, mostly drunken. They don't
Then
notice you now, but if you figure if you step around the corner, they will definitely see you.
Then I'll at least attempt to stealth.
Okay. Okay, 19.
Okay.
Alright, you make it past without any
I'm
issue.
gonna go around the corner. I'm gonna see that door is closed. Continue walking here, look over there and see Hawks, and then go over there.
Alright. You now see what Hawk sees.
So, what's the plan, Hawks?
think the switch for those doors, the electric thingy, is right there. There's a couple of those hammers. The big suits of armor.
So
Do you remember when we were fighting them? Did they seem to ignore you?
I think they did. They just walked on past me. Yeah.
Would you mind trying to go in there and hitting that switch?
I will. Yeah, I'll do it.
All right. So Hux will open the door for Meepo.
Okay.
Meepo's just gonna walk over to here and pull the switch.
All right. As you walk into the room, the hammers activate. They look around. They see you, and they leave you be. You pull the switch. There's a and suddenly, Skinnock and Scales, you no longer hear the thrumming in that room.
Send him to the turret.
Alright, you send in the turret. There's a little of static electricity, but no harm done.
Oh. In that case, Ed Scuck is already trying to rip one of the boxes off the walls.
Okay, do you have a crowbar?
I do.
Okay.
I think that worked.
Rip is probably like an aggressive way to say it. He's stealing it.
Fair enough.
I'm guessing I am.
This fortress has given you enough hell as it is. So, you will have advantage of this check with the crowbar. I will say the DC is going to be very difficult because they're really heavily embedded in the wall. I'm going to say, DC 20.
I see. Well, nothing to it.
Yes. Good old Bardic Inspiration.
Excellent. D8.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, so strength, which is a flat roll.
Yeah, with advantage. Okay. Okay, well, you still have it. You still have a...
I do appreciate the help.
Okay.
Fortunately, you do not waste that bardic inspiration.
Yeah, you don't have to use it.
Yeah, you still have it.
Okay.
If Hux comes back,
Eligibility.
can he take a swing at that?
Sure, I'll let you do it.
Let's see where he's got the crowbar in the wall. It's just strength, or is it athletics?
This is going to be a straight strength.
Okay.
He
With
sort of like
advantage.
almost hanging off of it, huffing and puffing.
Yeah, both of you. Like I said, it's really in there. Clearly, at least the dwarven ingenuity and dwarven craftsmanship is quite strong, as you can tell. As both of you, even with your strength, Hawksagner, you are unable to get it out. The crowbar bends slightly from the pressure, but of course it is not broken. But you are unable to get it out.
Does it have like a handle or something on it that can open it?
No, it does not. The only thing that you noticed about it was that kind of arcane circuitry that seemed to come from the boxes to the wall, and then throughout the wall to the ground on the opposite side to that lever in the other room.
Maybe there's another button in there. I'm gonna go back across and check both pillars kind of carefully, see if there's anything else on them.
For the sake of time and knowing that you want to preserve time, I'm going to tell you that the more that you inspect this, the longer it will take. The more time that you take, you know.
Oh well. The fun things for Sknuk.
Unfortunate, of course,
Also gonna
but
check
it was a
what's
good
down here.
idea. If you had rolled high enough, I wouldn't have had it take much time.
I'm also checking what's down here.
Okay, so now that you get to that area, oh yes, I think you'll be very happy about what you see here. Just give me a minute here.
Well, while Meepo's checking in there, I don't mind if you guys mess around with those boxes if it takes too long.
I think Hawks would go with Meepo just because Hawks has some numbers that he's trying to figure out where they belong.
Well, I would make sure you were accompanied by me.
Right.
So, Meepo, and Hawks, as you enter the room, you are led out into a much larger chamber. This room is unlit, but thankfully for your kobold eyes, that doesn't really mean too much for you. However, on each side of this large chamber, you think that you uncovered a major Duergar vault. As you see, on both sides of the room, there are 4 alcoves, each with a treasure chest in each individual one. And each treasure chest has 3 dials, each with numbers on them in Dwarven.
I see. Well, it's a good thing I have these numbers, then. Let's take a look-see here at this dial. Let's see here.
All right. For the sake of time, I'm not going to have you match each individual code with each individual chest because that's just be more tedious than anything. So it will take a little bit of time to go each chest and kind of open each one. So starting with the first chest that you see, you take out the paper. You assume the first code must go with the first box. And you assume correctly. As you open the first chest, it contains a dozen stoppered gourds, each holding a pint of fiercely hot liquor made from some sort of lichen-like material.
You said a dozen of them?
A dozen of them.
So, Dwergar liquor.
Dwergar liquor, correct. So let me see here.
Does that make it deeply alcoholic?
I'm going to type that out for you, and then I'll move on to the next chest. I'm pretty sure I... did I type liquor correctly? No, I did not. That is completely incorrect. Ah! You know what I mean. I'm not going to... Screw it. I'm going to leave it there. Chest number 2 holds what looks to be a golden mask shaped like the visage of a male drow. And that mask is lying on a bed of 350 gold pieces.
It's a gold mask.
On a pile of 350 gold pieces.
So, Scott probably wouldn't care much about this. I am curious. Does it resemble a particular drow?
Hawks, you recognize the face immediately. You know.
Yes, I have input it in my inventory as Drist face.
You already knew where I was going with it.
I already have a Drizzed face in my inventory, I think, unless we sold that.
What?
From the crates that were in the back of the White Dragons.
No. Those were not based on Driss. That was based on a different drow by the name of Jarlaxle.
Okay. Oh right, that's right. It was Jarlaxle, not Drizzed.
Does this
We don't flex on him though.
Does this mask have anywhere I could thread those green cloth through and maybe actually wear it?
Oh, I got rid of
It
those.
seems there's a couple ways you could go about it. You could either sew it to the... Well, not sew it. It seems there are a couple clamps in place to make either have a piece of cloth trail down the front, over the chest, like a tabard, or you could clamp it on where the scalp would be to make a what's the term? Basically, kind of have the cloth kind of go around the back, kind of covering the hair. Or the head, or the back of the head, rather. Because they're kobolds. Because you don't really have hair.
Either way, I would like to get it tied, and maybe... Obviously, I don't think the mask would fit over his face, right?
No, but it would be able to fit over, basically, your skull and over your snout.
I see. So, yes, I will do that.
Almost like a helmet, really. Okay. So, That was just the second chest. The third chest contains what appears to be a silver chalice shaped in the likeness of a spider and inlaid with 8 obsidian eyes.
Also, Hawks is not going to take any of the gold.
Fair enough. I assume Skinnock will.
Are we supposed to not? Is this like a...
Oh no, I'm just happy with the mask. Everyone else can have the gold. That's 150 for each of you. I've got something more valuable than gold. Well, it's technically it's made of gold, so it's just as valuable as gold, but it's sentimental. You all right?
I
I didn't die, but the thing when I put my keyboard on my desk that has like a little thing that slides out, it just broke off. Give me a second.
Hey, that happened to my desk too.
Okay, hang on.
Somebody's released the desk gremlins out into the world, and they're attacking everyone's desks. So I've got to be careful now.
Okay, I think I slotted it back in. It should be okay. We're good for now. I don't need to. That gave me a bit of a fright.
Warning label: not made for leaning on.
It seems like the kobolds aren't the only ones in a panic tonight.
True.
Apparently my sensitive nerves. Okay, so that was chest 3. Chest 4. You see a bundled up gray spider silk robe sewn with these yellowish eyes that are kind of glazed over. They appear to be the eyes of some sort of creature, but they are covered in varnish so as to preserve them. But it seems to be wrapping something up. And as you take it out and you unbundle the robe, you see a wand that looks like... I suppose it looks like a black piece of metal with a spider on the end of it.
What if it's like you flick it at people and it flings a giant like a really big spider at their faces?
Yeah, I was gonna say, does anyone feel like being spider themed at the moment? Because we've got all the gear for it. I mean, could you imagine strutting down the street with this robe and this chalice in one hand and the web in the other? Or wand in the other?
Spider kobold, spider kobold.
Yeah,
it doesn't have
spider Sona.
I will say there does seem to be a theme for some of these chests. It appears that perhaps these are some sort of spoils of war of some kind. Although mask doesn't quite make sense the mask to be there as part of them, because, given what you know about Drizzt, Hawks, Drizzt isn't really seen in a very high light in the drow cities that are Lolth-focused.
Maybe they, make someone dress up as him and then torture them. That sounds like a drow thing to do.
Maybe. Chest 5, though. Hang on, I need to check what this actually is. One moment. Where's my...
I will let other people take the chalice and robe. I think Hawk's just as soon as he's got the mask, he's now cracking the chests and walking on. Because let's be honest here.
Okay.
It's the most important thing.
Okay.
What if the 8 chest just has Drizzt in it?
Well, then he'll be concerned with that too,
Alright, so as you look at this, I want you to make either a history check or a arcana check, Hawks, as you're looking in. Because it appears to be a robe, not unlike the other one. However, it seems to be more intricate and has designs of spiders and webbing around the edges and the trim. It's much more finely made than the other one.
I am not good at either history or arcana, but I will attempt.
Okay. Then at the very much, it just appears like a very fancy dark spider silk cloak.
Does anybody think that maybe stealing all this stuff from the Durgar's not gonna leave them with a bad taste in their mouths from dealing with us? And maybe
I think they probably... they got a bad taste in their mouth when we look anyway.
Okay.
They don't seem like the type of
I was
people
gonna
that
say
can spell.
this seems like their old boss's stuff, not Grandalfa's. So I'm not necessarily inclined to think that she'll care too much.
That's what you thought. No, she doesn't actually enter the room. Chest number 6. You see an amber headdress set with 3 large purple pearls.
Can I do my own check on that cloak while he's doing that?
Sure can. Either
Yeah,
Arcana or
what would
History.
that be?
Arcana or History, your choice.
Okay, Arcana for the
Mm-hmm.
Arcana for the magic item.
Okay.
Should not have advantage, but the first roll is 21.
Okie dokie. So, as you're looking over the cloak, you've actually seen things like this before, Skanok. You know that it is called a Pwafwi. It is basically a ceremonial drow robe that has, you know for a fact, has magical properties. It is meant to be analogous to a cloak of elven kind, but made by drow hands.
Oh, maybe I want
Sneaky
that
cloak.
too then.
From what you know
That's
about
very sneaky.
these, because of the fact that they're made underground, you know that if it's exposed to sunlight for more than an hour, it will lose its magic.
Oh, maybe I don't want to be trusted with that then.
Intriguing. I wonder how that would interact with the Eternal Twilight we've got going on.
What you can gather, it probably would not be affected by actual sunlight because of the twilight.
What is the effect of it again?
So
It's a cloak
basically,
of elven kind.
yeah, so that means, I believe, advantage on stealth checks, or certain kinds of stealth checks.
Ah, I see.
Obviously, I'd say maybe an identify spell to know the specifics of that, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. I need to get Identify. Why do I not have that?
I thought you did, actually.
I'm sure it's in the Artificer spell list, but I don't think I've got it prepared.
Okay. Now, just...
So wait, you don't need...
Go ahead.
Do you need to have Artificer... Do you need to have rituals prepared to cast them?
That is a good question. I do not know that offhand. You'll have to look at that, because I'm going to describe what's in the next chest. Chest number 7. So this chest is a bit bigger than the other ones. Inside this chest, you see a 2-foot-tall stone statue of a very strange creature. It has 2 heads, each head in the shape of a baboon. It's hunched over, and both of its arms splay out into 2 tentacles on each arm. As you look at the statue, Hawks, I need you to make a charisma saving throw as your head goes towards its eyes.
Oh no 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 no.
Okay. You surmise as you're almost lost in its 2 amber-like eyes. You find it hard to look away, but then you quickly slam the chest shut, and you're kind of take a breath. You're fine, but clearly, whatever that was, nothing good can come from that.
Yeah, let's just leave this here. This one, what was there? This one, yeah, I'm just gonna reset the lock here. Yep. Yeah.
I can hear Kayla's panic from here. So yeah, you leave that chest alone. So now there is only one more chest. You see, in this chest, a skeleton. A skeleton that is very short, almost about yours, a little bit smaller than you, Hawks. And it is covered in this yellowish mold-like substance, which releases as the chest's lid is opened. And because the module is doing me a great disservice, I need to look at what this does. Because, of course, as I had this conversation with Steven earlier, wizards, please, index Give me page numbers, please. I beg of you.
This is not digital content. It does not link directly to it.
No, it certainly does not. You know what? I'm gonna look this up online because it'll probably be much faster.
What is
Oh,
it?
I-
Yellow mold?
It is yellow mold, yes.
I'm assuming it's not going to do anything good then.
It's in the DMG.
I know it is, but the problem is it'll take me too long to look at it.
Right.
There's also always a chance that what it describes in the DMG does not match up to what it describes in the module.
Well, the problem is the module doesn't say.
The module just says, this is yellow mold, and then leaves it at that.
Yes, see dungeon hazards in the Dungeon Master's Guide. Wizards!
Page 105.
Oh, Caleb, you are my godsend. You are lovely. Thank you.
That makes it a lot faster. Yellow slime. Yellow mold.
Yes, here we go. Alright, I'm gonna need you to make con save, my good friend.
Alright.
16? You are clearly made from sterner stuff than most, Hawks. As you see that yellow spore shooting up from the skeleton, you're like, oh no, you'll quickly hold your breath and slam the chest shut.
Okay, so that's two big no-nos here. We just leave these ones.
It was drizzed.
And that appears to be all 8 chests.
Okay, so who wants to wear the fancy headdress and cloak?
During that time, Meepo would have gone back to where Scales was and asked him if he had heard anything while we were in there. If there'd been any movement.
I don't think so. With my passive perception of 12?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing seems to have changed.
Yep, just the same old noise.
Right, well, you keep a lookout while we're collecting stuff. We're gonna bring some things over here, I think. I'm gonna go over and help them move the things that they get from the boxes.
Yeah, I think most of this is probably like sell stuff, honestly. But
Well, we
Like,
should
you know, the
figure out
two
what it
magic
is
items are fine.
after we're done dealing with the dragon.
yeah, we can just like for now let's just toss it all in party loot and then we can deal with it later.
Right.
Okay. So edit. I'll do that.
As long as Hawks has the mask, he's happy.
Yeah, that's it.
Alright. So, where do you go from here?
Going to escort these two out so they don't get attacked.
Okay. You walk through. The constructs seem to give a little start as the 2 kobolds come, but they see you, and they are reassured, letting you pass by. They are very dumb.
Good.
Okay, so now
Could
to the
use very dumb.
south.
Yes.
Okay. To the south. Another
I'd like to point out, like, so Hawks has this mask on his head now. He's got the spiked gauntlet under one arm as he's walking through. You know, he's just living it up.
Yeah, you are the true Drizzt memorabilia collector.
I'm going to go over here and collect Scales and tell him to come along as
I
well.
might actually at some point have to ask about using the spiked gauntlet myself.
Is it made of tarlin?
It is. It also still has the arm in it, I believe.
Yes.
Alright.
Skanak, you came through with us, right?
Yes.
He's carrying the loot back all by himself. He's like,
No, I went over to help.
Yep. Yeah. I'm just adding it all into party loot and now we are good to go.
Oh, got it.
We can all divide that up later.
Alrighty. So,
Apart from the mask, which I should not have on there.
you head down to the south. Another T intersection. This time, leading to 2 different sets of double doors. I will say, without needing to make a check, spatially, Hawks, you would note that whatever is down here is most likely connected to whatever this secret passage you saw over here was. Most likely. Just given the spatially, what you see and kind of like what you kind of notice right here. Beyond the door to this direction, you hear a very familiar sound of clanking metal. You assume, I'd say that there is probably another elevator in this room.
We don't know on the surface where that elevator would lead to.
Oh, wait, hold on. Actually, I'm completely wrong. Sorry, I'm completely wrong. The other elevator's over here. I lied. I am misinformed.
We do know that this second elevator, the one that we didn't come down, goes up next to the rooms where the suns were.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So this room is probably like the room that like the devil was in.
Like his personal sleeping quarters or something.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, this
I'm
room we
gonna-
don't know.
I'm going to assume that for now we should not pursue that line of, stuff until we've consolidated ourselves a little bit.
We don't know whether he went this way afterwards anyway, so he might be down here and we just don't know.
Well, I'll check first then.
Lubu. Why does that sound familiar? What is Lubu from?
Well, we're not supposed to pursue him, so
I see. Let's see here. Okay, so you're going to enter that room. All right.
I'm going to peek into that room if I can first.
Sure. I assume you want to do so stealthily.
I would like to attempt it, yes.
All right. Go ahead and attempt it.
I'll help.
Sure. Do it with advantage.
Try to make sure that the hinges don't creak when he opens it.
Okay. So, 10.
It's not really Hellpox. Yeah, be stealthy. He's a little bit of a big boy. It's hard for him to do that.
Okay, so the room that you've seen here, you see 2 beds standing against the south wall of this room, one of them with a Yeti hide draped across it. At the foot of this bed is a stone chest stacked to a stack of 5 sealed copper kegs, and it is heated and illuminated by glowing coals in the stone braziers. Very fancy looking room. Definitely a bedchamber of some kind.
So this is his room, probably. Then maybe we ought to check the other room.
Should we check the chest first?
Well, yeah, go ahead. I don't mind. Check it for
Alright.
traps.
Yeah, Hux will creep into the room over to where the beds are. And he'll take a javelin and lift the Yeti hide with the javelin.
Alright.
See if there's anything lurking under it.
Alright.
While he's doing that, I'll ask Scales if he wants to explore this other room.
Alright. There
If
is
we want to leave that room.
currently as you lift up with your javelin the Yeti hide, there's nothing under there.
Okay. So I guess then I will check the chest.
Alright. You check the chest, and it is empty.
I'm going to assume that the devil took his goods and left. What about these bottles? Do they have anything in them?
Oh yes, they are in fact. You see, they are branded with what appears to be a symbol of a mushroom, but in that very blocky dwarven style. You assume it's some sort of clan symbol, and you kind of cork one open. It has that same mushroomy smell of the ale that Grandolpha served you at the dinner.
Oh, this stuff's no good. Pick up the fire liquor. They can keep this. I have made a judgment call.
All right.
Meepo collected the other 2 and has asked them to double check the other room.
Indeed.
He's now going back to check on Hawks while they do that.
And now we can get to that. So, as Scales and Skinnock, you enter that room, I assume you wish to do so stealthily and peek in.
Yes.
And please, make me some stealth checks, because you will see this either way. It's just a matter of seeing if they notice you. Ooh, very nice. I will say that Sknuk doesn't even need to make a roll. As by the time you've already gotten there, Sknuk, the door is already open. That with nary a sound. So,
What?
By the time you already get there, Sknuk, Scales has already opened the door with his nat 20 stealth roll, silent as the grave.
Enough to look in, not enough to, like, be seen.
Of course, enough to look in. And what you currently see, you see two hooded Duergar, dissimilar to the other hooded priestly Duergar that was in here before, who is nowhere to be seen currently. And these two Duergar are currently heading down what appears to be a secret passage, while leaving a female Duergar chained up, bleeding heavily, in a cell. As these two are currently making their way into the secret passage and then pulling something on the opposite end, and then a door is closing behind them. Currently, the only one left in this room is this Duergar female over here. And as you look into this chamber, you can clearly see it is made to be a torture chamber. The walls are lined with iron sarcophagi standing on end. Lots of torture tools on tables surrounding it as well. You can see, within the dim light, the extent of her injuries. Her flesh is covered in blisters, and you see evidence of other forms of fire being inflicted on her. But that is what you see.
Am I here?
Yes, you are here. Did you cut out?
Is internet?
Yes, I completely lost internet for a second.
Oh, shoot.
His character was not there during the description of what happened.
True. So it doesn't matter too much. Did you at least hear what I described under the bed, Hawks? In the chest?
You said it was empty.
Yes, it was empty. Yes, okay.
Right. And he had the mushroom wine, which he decided he was not going to...
Oh, right, of course, you responded to me. Of course you would have heard that. So you just didn't hear what was in the other room. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's fine, because you weren't in that room, so we will reveal that to you when the characters come together again.
It was like a whisper.
Yeah. But, Scales and Sknuk, how you proceed is up to you.
What do you think? Do we let her out?
I guess. I don't see why not.
Doesn't bother me none.
Yeah, I honestly don't really care either. Has Meepo seen this?
Not yet.
You have not seen the tortured individual before, no. Because you weren't there. Hawks would have seen this, and so would have Meepo, but they are not currently in the room with you.
Well. I guess we might as well. They'll probably want to.
You have the tools to get her out. I don't really have much of that expertise there.
Fair enough. Gonna bring the cannon with me.
Alright. You notice that the Duergar female does not even register your presence as you walk up to the cell to which that she is incarcerated in. She doesn't even look your way.
Hey? Hey, can you hear me? You in there?
There is a very slight movement of the head, but she does not respond to you.
I mean, do you want me to let you out or not?
The head slightly turns in your direction, and a very, very pained, hoarse, and weak voice comes out. The king is dead. I've
Yes.
nothing left to fight for. I don't care what you do. Better off dead anyway. She kind of turns away.
This is like anachronistic dial-up noises as Skunk processes that. Nothing left to fight. Well, all right. Best of luck with that.
All right.
She must be left in there, apparently.
All right, you head out. She turns away from you. No other interaction.
Well, if she feels safe in there, then I suppose that's her choice then.
Ooh, those crazies. Yeah, it's just walking faster.
Let's go faster. All right. So I will say that at this point, you guys meet back up at the T intersection.
Was there anything down there? That's where I think the devil that kind of got me was.
Yeah, there was a dwarf lady in a cell, but she was kind of crazy and didn't seem to give a shit if we let her out or not, so we didn't.
All right. Well, I guess there's nothing here to stop the dragon, so let's go see about that heart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of those need a reason to fight people.
Huh.
I found some bottles of that awful mushroom wine, but not really interested in taking that. That's pretty
Right.
much it in that room.
That
I guess
was
there's that
very
Yeti
delicious.
pelt. Does someone want a Yeti pelt?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
let's grab that.
I guess it's a bit insensitive.
As you suddenly think back to the Yeti type currently in your care.
Is that a word? Is that how you say that?
Not one you use very often.
Kobolds don't really have the language, like, there's no word for insensitive in the dragon language. Not really.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, well, with that in mind, yeah, let's go looking for more stuff. That treasure chest room was put me in a looting mood, and nothing here's really caught my interest.
I really think we gotta stop that dragon.
We do.
But you never know what piece of loot might help.
Yeah. Tell you what, how about you guys start investigating that, and I'll start trying to take out this dragon heart.
I'll help you with the dragon heart.
I think the Hawks was also going to help with the dragon heart.
Oh,
he might
alright.
he might retrieve his rope first.
Yeah, all right. We'll make quick work with them.
We'll get that, and then we'll go around and catch up.
All right. So you approach the ziggurat-esque forge. So, what are you going to attempt to do to destroy the heart?
Well, if it's a red dragon's heart, and I'm presuming it is, it's probably not very flammable.
Probably not, since it's powering a forge.
So I guess I'm just gonna have to go with the old faithful and shoot it with a crossbow.
Okay, so as you do that, let me see here. Okay, so thankfully the heart does not really get any extra cover from being in the forge, because you managed to kind of like put the crossbow right next to the vent, which gives you enough space to shoot it without too much hindrance. So go ahead and take a shot.
This hurts. I just want you all to know this. This hurts. Let's see.
Okay.
Those should both have a -1 because the crossbow should not be infused at this moment.
Okay, that's fine. All right, you take the shot. The crossbow shoots right into kind of like the center of the heart, and it kind of skips a beat for a minute. It does keep pumping out lava, but it is pumping out much less than before. We'll probably need to take another shot.
Just like quiet sobbing.
Meepo has her hand on his back, just patting him. There. We'll find another dragon heart someday when we're more up to the challenge.
Yes. You weep as the second crossbow hits the forge heart a second time, to which it stops beating entirely, and the forge goes dark and cold.
Sniff, sniff.
I guess there's no real way to tell whether that worked.
There really isn't.
It doesn't seem like there was any other effect that you noticed offhand. It just seemed like the forge itself turned cold, and that was the only effect that you noticed.
Was there anywhere else we haven't explored?
The north.
Alright, let's give it a look.
Alright, as you kind of like look in that direction, without even entering the room, you notice that you notice sets of iron bars, leading you to think this is some sort of prison or dungeon up here. Right? You notice that there are 3 kind of alcoves that you assume the hammerers were standing, probably on guard until they heard the sounds of combat. But as you sort of venture towards this direction, you see there's very much of similar design all throughout. Narrow iron doors, kind of along the north wall, and 2 similar doors at each end. An iron crossbar that you can tell seals each one. You notice to the, let me see here. From the door to your west, there is a loud banging. And from the door to your east, there is a gentle tapping.
I see.
It's too emotional to proceed further.
Yeah. Just kind of like a hard boom, 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 boom. And then a...
They seem rhythmic or like something throwing themselves against the door.
For the one that seems to be more pounding, it seems like someone is, seems like someone or something is physically pounding on the door, and you hear kind of like muffled shouts. The other one also seems to be rhythmic, but not in a mechanical way. It definitely seems like it seems more like someone is just gently rapping on the door.
You said to the west was the pounding.
Correct.
Hawks will creep over to that door and maybe knock on it from this side and be like, hello?
Alright, let me see here. From the loud banging, you kind of hear this... You hear in giant, actually, Hawks. Hello! Get me out of here, please! If you have any honor at all, release me!
Yeah, sure, I'm pretty good at that honor thing. I'll respond in giant. I will crack it open. I will lift the bar and step back.
As you kind of like lift open the bar and kind of step back, I think it was a good idea to step back because this individual, this large, giant-esque individual, slams out of the door, and you see a Goliath coming out of this room. He is around 7'5", He's not wearing very much. He's kind of got like a loincloth around him. You get the sense that they didn't really provide him much in the way of, covering. But he kind of like looks around, kind of like looks down, kind of looks around and kind of speaks in giant. Where are you?
Down here.
Kind of looks down. His eyes kind of go wide. Like, forgive me. Still in giant. I am not used to hearing the tongue come from a kobold. But you have my thanks, my friend. He kind of slavs down. He kind of slav squats down at you, kind of giving you a nod. Kind of holds out a very large palm to shake your hand.
I will return the handshake. I'll also make sure to ask him. Hey, they haven't been feeding you properly here, have they?
Oh, no, these dwarves don't know real food.
I don't have any real food on me, but I've still got some good rations. So here.
Oh, that's good enough for me. He kind of takes it out of your hand very gingerly and kind of like just scarfs it down. Oh. Kind of slams down on his butt from the Slav squat against the wall, kind of giving a loud thud. Kind of rests his back up against the wall. Kind of closes his eyes for a brief moment.
Name's Hawks. Glad to be able to set you free here.
Kapanuk Toll Tree, Thun Lakalagaga. I will write that down for you because that's a mouthful. One moment. It's a very, very, very long name. He kind of gives you another head jut as a show of respect.
Yeah, so these are my companions here.
You all at this point see this towering Goliath kind of like resting up against the wall. Kind of gives a nod to each one of you.
Kobold, I'm just in disguise here.
Yeah, he kind of squints at you for a moment, but then it kind of looks towards the rest of you. True. I did not think the matron would walk with kobolds. No offense.
No, it makes sense. I don't think she would either. Although she did eat with us.
I'm glad that you have found me. I became separated from my hunting party during a blizzard, ambushed by these cowards, brought back to their fortress for interrogation. He's sounding out in kind of like brokenish common. But I did not give anything that they wanted, so they threw me away, left to die alone in a cell. Kind of scoffs.
Also point to the other cell and be like, do you know who's in there?
Some scrawny gentleman. Don't... human? Didn't get a good look at him, but... Give off a... strange vibe. Almost like he knew what I was thinking before I thought it.
So, in your judgment, yay or nay on letting him out, too?
I would not let anyone to die like a coward in a cell. It would not be honorable. It would not be sporting.
Fair enough. Just, help us keep an eye on him as he gets out.
Will do. Also, I misspelled his name. It is Kapanuk, not Kapamuk.
Alright. So Hawks will let the other person out.
Okay. So, what you see in this cell, you pry open the bar, or you pull it out rather, and standing there with arms behind his back, you see a scrawny human in a dirty loincloth. You see that he, just from a simple glance, He has the kind of like the look about him that you saw in several people in Duggan's Hole. The kind of like these small malformed ears and kind of pointy teeth. He kind of gives a kind of like a wide grin at seeing you. Oh, hello there. Thank goodness you come to rescue me. I mean, I don't want to be too presumptuous. I didn't think no one would be looking for old Pecco Quint. And I'll write that down for you.
You said he had. Did you say he had like pointy teeth?
Yes, but however, you have seen this. I'm not saying like file down sharp, like a shark's teeth. I'm talking like pronounced canines. Like the teeth are probably more sharp just from like being chipped than anything. It's not too suspicious just from looking at him. You have seen the look from Duggan's Hole people before. It's not an uncommon look there.
Oh no.
Maybe they actually are fishmen.
Fishermen are like a weird vampire cult.
Well,
Gene stealers.
Gene stealers, oh god.
Wrong universe.
Is it?
Yes.
I think now that we've got the prisoners out, it's pretty much all we've got on this floor. We better hurry and get out of here. I think we've done the damage we really can.
I kind of forced to agree with that. It seems that none of the areas that were in use really had anything for us.
I see. So you're in a rush then. The Goliath kind of like perks up.
There's a dragon attacking with 10 pounds.
The White Worm?
No, it's
No.
Oh.
something
New
that
dragon.
the dwarves made.
Oh, they're...
Machine.
Yes, they're a machine. It is no dragon. That is why I was confused.
Yeah, but I think it'll still destroy the 10 towns if it's left alone.
A coward's weapon, for sure. If he truly wished to take 10 towns, he should have done so by force, with his own men, not through some... machine. Not that I would, mind you. I have no hatred towards the 10 towners, though their way of life is soft.
Well, the leader of these Dwergar's way of life was cut a little bit short in our effort of stopping this dragon. So we've been looking through and trying to figure out how to stop it and call it off.
I hate to be a bother. You see the human from the other side kind of try and butt in. I don't suppose... Obviously, this Goliath gentleman won't need it because of his nature. Could I perhaps bother you for some cold weather apparel?
There's
Actually-
Yin's help.
Well, I was going to say, Hawks, actually, now that he has these boots giving him protection from cold damage, or resistance to cold damage...
It's just cold damage, not cold weather.
Well, if you have resistance to cold damage, you ignore most of the effects of cold weather. I think that's pretty much that's baked into the resistance.
Oh, I have resistance to fire damage. Did I not have resistance to cold from something else? I have resistance to fire from that. Weird, okay. Okay.
It wasn't the frost rune?
No.
Was it the
no.
ice thing?
The ice rune gives resistance to fire, oddly enough.
And the
So no,
frost
I guess
rune for the giant ability?
is wisdom, animal handling, and charisma intimidation checks.
Okay.
So yes, for some reason I do not have resistance to cold damage. Okay, never mind. Then I can't afford to spare that, and would point him
I can
in the
manage.
direction of.
I can
I would-
manage without. So you can go ahead and have mine.
Ah, much obliged, my friend, much obliged. He kind of like takes it from you, like just kind of starts putting on piece by piece. These pesky Durgar, they abducted me, asking me about questions about town's defenses, I mean, I'll try to hold on as much as I could, but, I don't know if you've seen your torture room over there, not very conducive to a healthy mind, as it were. You know how it is.
You wouldn't happen to be from Dugan's Hole, would you?
He kind of gives like a wide grin. Oh, how could you tell?
Just so you know, that's the first place the dragon is scheduled to hit.
Oh, that is a darn shame. Well, looks like I'm gonna be heading to Bryn Shander. Yeah, it's probably the biggest city. Yeah, it's probably where everyone's gonna be headed if something like that's attacking. Yeah. Alright, guess I'm heading down that way then. Thank you for that information, little nice tidbit.
As you can tell, Bryn Shanner's the last on the list, so yeah, good place.
Yeah. Of course. One moment. I will say, Skanuk, make an insight check for me, if you don't mind.
He feels slimy, but then that's just Dugan's Hole, isn't it? Yeah.
6. Yeah.
Can I make an insight check too?
Sure can.
I actually have advantage on.
I feel like they'd be like, the crazy inbred Hicks would probably be more attached to their home, but also.
Yeah, 13. Yeah, seems legit.
Legit in what way?
I mean, seems just seems like a normal weird guy from Duggan's Hole. Nothing to be concerned about.
Okay.
Hux, though, you don't see anything off necessarily about his story, but there's something odd about him in general. More so than just looking like they're from Duggan's Hole. You notice that there's a weird sort of calculation to his movements, and he kind of like eyes each and every one of you very carefully, and as if he's studying you.
See. So, how'd you end up here?
Well, like I said, I was captured for an interrogation, questioned about the defenses of 10 towns, probably why the little flight plan is the way it is.
I see. Did they ask you about any particular types of defenses?
Were you tortured?
Oh, most assuredly. He kind of like pulls up his sleeve, or rather, no. As he's kind of like putting on the cloak, you notice that he kind of like pulls back some of the stuff they put it on. He had his back to you before, but he kind of like looks. You kind of like he turns around, and you see lots of scarring and blistering, same as you saw on the Duergar in the other room. It does seem like he was tortured.
Does he have anything wrong with his head?
His ears and his teeth.
Well, aside from that, yeah.
Not that you can tell.
Okay.
Well, thank you so very much for the winter covering. I think I'll best be off then, before everything gets all kabobbled and burned to a crisp. So I'm gonna head out if you don't mind. And he's kind of starts to walk out. What'd you say, Skanuk?
Best of luck.
Oh, best of luck to you too.
He's not right in the head, but I don't think we're going to get anything else from him.
Alright, and he leaves. You see the Goliath kind of eye him the entire time he's going. True to what you suggested to him, he was watching him the entire time, and his fists were kind of clenched, keeping an eye. But as soon as he leaves, the tension in his shoulders kind of leaves. Well, I know that you're in a rush, but for saving my life, I would actually invite you to return with me at some point to Wormdoom Crag. My kin will give you the hero's feast that you certainly deserve. But I understand if you will decline the invitation.
Maybe at a later date.
I understand. Should you come, though, I will welcome you with open arms, and so will my kin.
Can you write down what the place name was?
Sure, I certainly can and will.
Wormdoom Crag. That's a fun. Hey, once we go there, we'll hopefully be dragon players of a strange type. Is it more or less impressive to fight a mecha dragon?
Alright, there you go.
I bet it depends on who made the Mecha Dragon.
Fair. Canucks mecha dragon will be far more imposing than this one.
I see. I did not realize that this was part of the plan.
There's no hard plan for it now, but now that he's seen it's possible, he must do it.
Alright. So, Goliath will kind of stand up and he will kind of like dust himself off, and he won't ask for any winter clothing. He seems to be fine as he is, but he will kind of look to you. I can walk with you to the surface, but if you are heading to 10 Towns, we will have to part ways. But I thank you again for your help.
Yep. No, come to think of it, you didn't happen to hear any of these dwarves mention a way of turning off the machine once it had started?
Kind of thinks for a minute. No. But I did hear some of their plans. I know that not all of the Duergar are currently here. I heard whisperings from the Duergar that they had sent some of their men out to some of the 10 Towns to sabotage some of the structures. I know I heard something in Tourmaline. They plan to do something with the mine. Something about explosives.
Oh, we don't like that. We don't like that at all.
Yeah, they only plan to do it when the dragon reaches Tourmaline, though. That I know.
Use this chaos to kick out to do some assassination and sabotage.
Correct.
Is clever, but problematic. Okay.
Yes. That's what I heard. I know for a fact that it's not the only town that they're trying to sabotage. Some Duergar might be in the town either invisible or might take use of the chaos, from what I heard. They are at least somewhat more courageous than their king, which, by the way, is he dead?
I'll hold up
Yes.
the glove and wave it.
Excellent. You are a true warrior. I salute you, my friend. He kind of gives you a very righteous nod and a kind of like a approving look.
All right. Well, Where
We
does
did
that
get
leave
some
us?
sort of a blessing from the Ice Giant King.
Ice Giant King.
Yeah, we fought off another Ice Giant. Did a battle with their spirit warrior or something. I don't know. It was pretty intense.
Okay. So here's what happened. All right, we went to the old place of the Jarl Moon and encountered the spirits of the old Jarls there, and they challenged us to a challenge, and we won pretty well. And then someone showed up who claimed to be the heir of it all, and decided to try and kill us, and we won that fight as well.
Not only bested a king, but a giant as well? Ha! You four are no laughing matter. You all are true warriors. Should you come to Wormdoom Crag, not only will we give you a feast, If you have a request of us, I am sure I will implore to our chieftain to hear you out.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
Kind of gives a strong nod. Yes, and? He looks to you, Scales, with a not quite a glare, but like a, really? Look? As if he doesn't understand the implication of what you're asking. What over?
Um,
I am sorry. I do not mean to give offense, small one. He kind of he takes his big beady head and just kind of firmly just pats you on the head. Wait, no, that is that in? I'm not sure. Is that the correct way to? I am sorry if that offends you.
Honestly, culturally, for kobolds, anything that is like positive attention is better than what we usually get. So,
I accept this. From now on, I will head pat every kobold that I see, that I find worthy. And he kind of struts off with you. All right. So, you head back towards, I assume, the elevator.
I think we were intending to have that conversation sort of on the move for the
Yes,
for the most part.
I assume so as well. So, let me see here. Let me
Starting from when Meepo interrupted.
do some calculations here. Okay,
I'm gonna just assume the cannon would be gone by now because
Yeah.
right.
That's
When
easy
did
on me.
the fight start? The one against the king. Was that how long ago was that? Ish.
So that the fight started. So I'm basically counting the 2 hours and 33 minutes at the end of the last session. So basically, when you and Meepo, when you were specifically knocked unconscious and then brought back. So I'm just calculating distance right here. So don't mind me. A little time here. This is just the base distance that you've walked. You spent some time here talking. This is just base here, and then where you are now. So around 800 feet. Okay, so 800. So this is actual calculations going here. So at a normal-ish pace that you're walking now, some slow. I'm counting this as normal. So you can get more mileage out of this. This is going to be 800 divided by 30. So 30 squares per minute. It's now been 26 minutes, so now it has been almost 3 hours base, but it would have taken you more time to look through the chests. Would have taken some time to look through the torture room, the torture room and the guest room, or the priest room, were at the same time, so that's the same amount of time. Then you walked back, talked to the Goliath and the strange gentleman, which took some more time. So
And did the heart.
ended the heart, but that was around
10
it
seconds.
was 2 shots with the crossbow.
It was 2 shots. It was like 12 seconds. I'm not counting that a whole lot. That's basically combat time, essentially.
Right.
2 actions each. So, with all that in mind, I'm going to say it is now around 3 hours and 15 minutes. So, updated time.
Okay, so it's been about an hour since we started the fight with the king.
Oh yeah, no, because like that cannon came out before we came out in the fight
My
immediately
disguise
after.
is probably up too.
Yeah.
Right. Oh. Best.
All right.
Need it anymore?
All right, so you're exiting this room. I will say, as you're heading back down this way, there were some Duergar here, but they stand to attention, nod at you, as the previous procession of Duergar left this direction, you assume. Let's see here. So another 25. So another 4 minutes pass, so 3 hours and 19 minutes. Just to get to the elevator, and then as you go up the elevator, I believe 6 minutes. So this is some actual calculations going in here. As you get to the top, there's 26 minutes. So we're gonna move you back to that map. right, and as you head back in this direction, the Duergar that was standing there is still there. He sees you coming up and kind of gives you a slow, registering nod as you walk by.
Hawks, you should wave at him with your little gauntlet there.
Yep, I will do that.
Yeah, you see him kind of wince for a second, but he gives you another reassuring nod, like he understands. Yeah, like you did what you had to do, kind of thing.
Wasn't he scared of that guy though?
He was. So you do also see it. There is also a wave of relief as well, but you get the sense that with the Duergar that passed her before, you get the sense he probably already received that news and probably already kind of felt that emotion a little bit strongly then.
Right. No, he has physical proof though.
Indeed. I will say, as you as you get to this crossroad intersection right here, you notice that all the way on the opposite side, where those two doors were, they're both open and empty.
Wow.
We know that those were the bedrooms, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
specifically
the
to
sons were.
Zardarok's sons. Yes.
Meepo's gonna try not to think about what that means and just gonna go this way.
Well, you do notice one more thing. As you're leaving towards the entryway, you notice that there is a spray of whale oil that somehow managed to get over here, and this door right here to these barracks are open. There's also a large smattering of blood.
Ooh, it went well.
Yeah, there's also
Sorry.
the scent of burning whale oil in the air.
I suppose it went well.
Indeed. Which, as you,
That was from my whale oil thing, right?
It was, yes. The
should
whale
mark
oil
that off.
trap that you left behind with a very high roll as the DC. To which, as you inspect and kind of take a peek in this room, it seems like some Duergar are holding some other Duergar in captive. And you see two bodies of two youngish dwarves that are currently charred and bleeding on the ground. You also notice that the passageway is open as well. One of the Duergar from the room looks at you, looks towards the secret passage. Good handiwork you did there. What?
Meepo just kind of looks at Skanuk.
Grandolph used it to put it to good use. Told the two sons that a dragon was attacking the fortress, and they would have to go down the secret passageway. They wanted to make it out alive. And they believed her.
Well, I see. Glad to be of assistance, I guess. You know, old kobold ingenuity.
Aye. Best be moving on, though. We're making some adjustments around here.
Fair enough. I think we've got a flight to catch.
Aye.
Well, I
Yes.
hope the rest of your days are peaceful. You don't have any troubles, and you can go on living the way you want.
At the mention of peaceful, some of the Duergar kind of give each other a look. Some of them kind of snicker at you. Sure.
Yeah.
I'm just
think-
gonna walk
I
away
think-
as quickly as I can.
I think living the way they want is like expressly against being peaceful. But maybe they
Well-
can be unpeaceful with other people who want to be unpeaceful. How about that?
I don't know. I just hope they keep their warfare to themselves.
if nothing else.
All right. As you leave,
We're looking for the murder bird and the Yeti kid.
yes, you are.
Are they gone?
No, they are not gone. But there is a scene that I need to describe here, which I think.
Okay.
One moment here. Where is the? Oh, there it is. Perfect. So, the sled is where you left it. Muerte is not. Muerte is around 50 feet away, honking like mad, and bludgeoning her beak against a solid blue sphere that is just in the snow.
I see.
Very large sphere, like about 10 foot radius.
So someone put a tiny hut, and
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
hey, Muerte.
They're not
You
gonna
just-
come out if we keep attacking it.
Pum, 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 pum. Ah, pum, pum, pum.
Can I attempt something resembling an animal handling check? I technically have advantage on this from the frost rune, I think.
You sure can.
I think actually yes, animal handling. Oh god. Let's cross our fingers. Okay, advantage helps.
Okay. Okay. As you attempt to get a handle on Huerte, she gives you a little bit of fight, but you manage to wrangle her in such a way that she is not able to snap back at you. And you kind of get on her back and kind of like pull on her reins, and you manage to calm her for now. And as you manage to calm her down, you see a head poke out of the Lehman's tiny hut. You see a very familiar face. You see one Miss Villain Harpel, with eye patch and all.
Ah,
Oh, you're back. I was getting a little bit nervous.
Muerte does that to people.
No doubt. I've never seen an axe speak so bloodthirsty.
She does that.
Huh. Morte gives a cool stare back.
She's got a theme song even.
It's weird. It plays whenever she does something.
Muerte Blanca.
Regular magical mystery.
I feel like cornering one of our allies in a tiny hut. It should be like the off-key clarinet version of that song playing.
Muerte Blanca. Muerte Blanca.
Or like badly played on a slide whistle.
Man, I wish I was proficient in instruments so I could play a little ditty. Oh, man. Well, I saw that you were in a little bit of a trouble, and I actually came to lend a hand, actually, but it seems that you're already done with the fortress, I believe. He kind of looks around. Have you already done what you need to do?
Well, the guy who made the dragon is dead. Sadly, there was no way of stopping the dragon from inside.
So it seems, unfortunately. The dragon is, from what I last saw of it, currently just now leaving Duggan's Hole.
Acceptable losses, but we should keep it from hitting anywhere else.
Do we have any way of getting to Goodmead before it goes up there? I've never been there.
Well, I could lend you my sleds. They can ride at a bit of a faster pace than your bird can with all the heavy extra baggage. Honk! Muerte glares at her again. Granted, of course, it will still take some time to get there. Unless you have some other way of getting there faster, we'll have to perhaps either forsake a rest, or whatever it is you desire. I'm here to build trust, so that we can further our business relationship.
I honestly think we gotta push as fast as we can.
I would agree, then. I am, fortunately, not tapped out on my spells, only a tiny hut that I had to cast rather quickly, as you can no doubt tell, and she kind of gives another glance towards Muerte, who gives you a cool glance back. If you need some sort of assistance from the arcane, I can certainly provide some.
Healing potions, perhaps.
She kind of snaps her fingers. Now that I can provide. And she kind of pulls out from her bag each a potion of greater healing for each of you.
Oh, whew. That should put me at full.
Let's go. Got 34.
Where's
What is that roll?
So that is just 4d4 plus 4.
Plus 4.
So,
Yeah, might as well
11.
take it now.
Oh man, I hate seeing ones on those.
But I love seeing 4s.
14, actually. It's not that much waste at all.
Yep, so Hawks is up to 30 health.
I'm at full.
So is Cuck.
That was actually 1 over full for me.
Yep. Alright.
Hawks is a tough boy, though.
I wish there was a way to refill spells with that.
Bottled spells. Mm-hmm.
I've got myself one spell and one last minute groveling.
I have
I
2
don't think
spells.
the groveling's gonna help against a flying dragon.
Well,
I can go giant one more time.
I have 2 bardic inspirations and 4 first level spell slots.
I'll wait for that.
And vicious mockery.
What else do you need, really, though?
Well, if it's what we have, then it's what we have.
Hopefully the sending spells I used are helping out somewhere. Talked to 3 different people about it.
Actually, from what I saw when I was heading over, it seems that most of Duggan's Hole is already actually evacuated.
Oh,
I mean,
Yeah, some madman was raving about Lathander, and he had out some divine decree to evacuate the town from some impending doom.
Well, that worked, I guess. Good job, Lathander. He'll pat Meepo on the back.
I'd rather it be Eldath.
You can't always get what you want.
oh, those are actually quite similar distances. It doesn't look like it. Okay.
Gonna do some musing over what Eldath and Lathander's relationship are while we hurry on our way.
Indeed. Muerte will get slightly left behind if you're going to take advantage of Villain's sleds, because the sleds are much faster than Muerte is, but like about twice as fast, honestly.
Ooh, boy.
So, let me double check something really quickly for you.
Does that still hold true if we're not on her? Like, I know we don't weigh that much individually, but together should be a couple hundred pounds.
So, with this in mind, so it's let's see. I need to make another calculation here Because there is a special travel pace rule alongside those other ones. And because you're using if you're going to be using the dog sleds, you, pardon me, you will be moving at a faster rate than if you're just using the travel pace rules that are in the Roll20 section of travel pace. So I need to double check how fast a dog sled can move. Just give me a quick second as I reference that.
I was just leaving Dugan's Hole, she said.
Indeed.
22 miles to Goodmead, 30 miles to East Haven.
Where is... Come on, where is... Ah, here we go. That does not seem correct. Okay, so I'm not using those rules because that's actually incorrect.
Like 35 or 36 to Caer Dineval.
Some kind of...
Might be the safer bet. But East Haven's a bigger town, right?
East Haven is one of the big towns, it looks like.
Correct. It is one of the big three. Timberlane's also
quickly
kind of
do you
big.
think-
But... Alright, go ahead.
How quickly do you think we could get to East Haven?
East Haven, you say? My dogs are pretty fast. I specifically bred them for this purpose. They're good dogs, so it should... Let's see. So for travel pace rules, there is a travel pace rule in the DMG for special travel pace. In 1 hour, you can move a number of miles equal to your speed divided by 10. Now, if we're looking at sled dogs, they have about the stats of a wolf. So,
Like 40-foot speed? No, 50-foot speed.
I double checked that. I believe you might be correct, it is 50 feet.
So in 1 hour they could move 4 miles.
In 1 hour, they can move 4 miles.
So
10 hours to get to East Haven.
yeah.
Or
We
if it's like, if we're doing like...
Now, that is at a normal pace. At a fast pace, I could say you could probably get to 5.
If we're like doing like, if we're like making use of the tool to make sure that's like the most trimmed version, it's 30-something miles to East Haven, which would be 6 hours? 6.5?
How long is it to Tourmaline under that?
It's about the same distance, apparently.
I'm at this point completely inclined to just say East Haven needs to fend for itself and we go to Tourmaline.
Yeah, like
So-
it's...
There is also a different way. There is a small path you could take to perhaps take a shorter route. You don't know if it's as safe, but if you went this way, it'd be a bit of a shorter distance.
We kind of need safety at this point. Because we need to get there. We need to get there with as much as we can. And as...
To be
well
really
as we
honest,
can.
like, if we go to East Haven, we'll probably lose that fight. Because we won't. Because like, if we go to Tourmaline, maybe it takes long enough that we get a long rest in. But if we go to East Haven, we definitely won't. And... yeah, then we'll have like 10 total spell slots. No, not even that, like 6 total spell slots with which to fight a dragon that is huge.
Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to say that we're going to have to use the towns that we haven't visited as fodder and aim for Tourmaline.
Somehow Caer Dineval is the same distance as far as I can tell. That is wild.
That's Roll20 geometry.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
You see Villain kind of nodding along Japan. No, it's quite practical. I agree.
Hopefully somebody's been able to warn the other towns.
It's just to me, it's very important that we understand that, like, this space up here is very important, right? And definitely this space in here is relatively important as well. And we should definitely we should definitely consider, the places around where we started important, but over here, this area, we can let that be a loss.
Yeah, like it's not. Like
Oh
ideally, we don't.
man.
Just loud cackling it on my side, but also like understanding your frustration.
I am
He just
Just-
did that to us.
I really just did that.
Well,
Yep.
well done.
It took me
Okay, so
like 2 seconds after you finished your little explanation to realize what had just happened.
sorry.
Yeah, don't worry.
I could not help that. I'm sorry. I apologize. It had to be done. But yes, I'm personally saying we aim for
Oh god
tournament.
dang it! I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about something else. I thought you were talking about. Ah! I legit thought when you. I thought you were talking about like the whole scenario, like you were like just like frustrated by that. I didn't actually see the loss until.
Well, I said memes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna
Or
delete that
memes.
from the map. But yeah.
You know what? The dragon is now at Tourmalines. No,
No.
no, it's not.
Wow,
It's-
that was
it's
a
not.
total loss.
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
Sorry, I
No, it's all good. We need a little bit of
I was all
levity.
confused by why you were putting the lines like that, and then when you said loss, I was like, oh, okay.
okay, but yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Going to like Tourmaline is probably our best bet.
Okay.
If you want, yeah, I will say, and she will. At this point, you will kind of start the sleds and start writing. I will say, if we're some reason unable to make it to Tourmaline, Bryn Shander is probably where all the refugees from each towns will go, as it is the largest and most secure town.
Do you have any people in those towns? Because I heard tell that they have some dwarves sitting in there waiting for the chaos to do some
Please, I have
nefarious
a-
deeds.
I have very little connection to 10 towns. Remember, I'm only here on an expedition.
Oh,
Do-
do you happen to know the sending spell?
Let me check. Hang on.
Don't we know? We know that one of her people is in East Haven, right? The people she was looking for?
Indeed, that is correct. Although, oh wait, the one in East Haven? Ooh, no, you learned that he was dead. He got burned at the stake.
It was Caradinival, one of her people, was making a cult.
Oh yes, Caradinival, that was the one. Like, East Haven's the one where the guy, the Thayan wizard.
Right.
Yes. Caradinival was
Okay.
where the cult was.
So that's Avarice, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so we should tell her that to try and get in contact with.
Just one moment, I need to get to where her token is, that I can look at her spells. Darn, unfortunately, I do not have that capability.
And you don't have any. No, I don't know.
Well, I don't have a specific way, but I can write a quick letter and send my familiar out.
That would help.
Get a method of sending, I guess.
Hang on, you take over, and she kind of like hands the reins over to one of you and just starts scribbling something really quickly.
Hawk's probably. I think he's the one that's been talking to her the most.
Yeah, she just literally just lets the reins go and just lets God take the wheel, or the reins, as it were. She just starts
Help
scribbling.
Death take the wheel.
Eldeth, take the reins.
Hail that takes the reins. And she quickly scribbles something and then kind of gives that rolled up note to her familiar, and the familiar flies off.
Alright, well, that covers that at least.
Quite frankly, if it's all the same to you, I hope she bites the crossbow bolt.
I mean, I will respect your thoughts on that, but
Trust
it
me.
would kind of be better for the 10 towns as a whole if she at least inflicted some damage on the thing.
Oh, sure, absolutely. I just hope that she dies in the process. She says that with this completely straight face.
Meepo is just kind of looking at her in sort of astonishment, quietly.
Indeed. So, I noticed that we have a lot of time on our hands. It's just around like hour 2 into the sled, after a little bit of talking has passed. If you don't mind me asking, I've seen you somewhere before. She looks at you, Skinnock.
Maybe.
Yes. I do know your face. You wanted
If this is about the time with the trash can, it's a complete accident.
Was that during your entry exam, perhaps?
Oh, you mean that? No.
Ah, yes. You know, you stole something quite important. Or rather, well, not important, well, valuable to the Brotherhood. There's a small bounty on your head.
So what?
Oh, nothing. I was just going to say, if you help me with my task, I can get that cleared for you.
What did I steal? I stole something?
I'm very sure you did. Or at the very least, they blamed you. I don't know if you did or not, but that's who they blamed.
You wouldn't do that. I mean, maybe. Nah.
Hey, who else but Skinnock?
Should have at least gotten paid for it. Scott's gonna like start rooting for his packling for the thing he's alleged to have stolen.
But correct me if I'm wrong. That is part of your.
I mean, out of character, it is. Skunk is trying to lie.
Okay, just double checking with you because I wanted to make sure I got that correct. Make a deception check for me.
What was this doohickey you're talking about again? Damn.
Well, that's perception.
That's perception.
Yeah.
That's perception. Where is deception?
It's under the
At the
D's.
top. Yes, of course.
Oh. Okay.
It's a 1 point better than just removing the 4.
Okay.
The 4 from my wisdom would have been.
Okay. He's not proficient in
1.
insight.
Natural. Damn. Oh, I could have beaten that as well. Damn.
Ah. She doesn't.
My passive insight is 18, so.
Yeah.
There is something that might matter for this. One moment. Oh my god. I'm going to use my reaction.
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Flash.
He also has Bardic Inspiration, which doesn't expire. Or wait, does it expire after a certain amount of time, Caleb?
I thought.
Let me look.
Well, no. I know. Skinnock is talking about a different feature that was at 6th
yeah.
level.
So okay. Whether the thing. So if that's still valid, then I'll use that. But if it's not.
Ah, yes.
Genius.
Even though it probably would have gone at this point, I'm gonna count it anyway, because it's funny.
Yeah, I mean, either works because either would add enough.
So with all that, what's the total now?
The total is 14.
14. I think Meepo still knows that you're lying, but Villain kind of makes a expression, kind of nods as she's kind of like as she drives the sled over like a snowbank. You kind of like launch over it, and like you see a couple of those tiny little elementals, those tiny Schwingas, kind of like look up at you from their ruined mound and kind of like shake their fists a little bit as she rides on. Well, then I'll have to argue on your behalf. You can certainly convince me. I'm sure you'll be able to convince them as well.
Yeah, no, my thing was a lot more subtle.
Noted. Then she will continue driving. So, it's at this point that I need to do more calculations. Because you, at this point, if you're, so let me guess, so let me correct myself, you were going to East Haven, or were you going to Tourmaline?
We were probably going to Tourmaline.
Okay.
Yep.
So, it's around with the sled dogs. Wait, hold on. Friggin', okay, yeah, we're going along the... You know, I would like you to not snap, please. There we go. That would be perfect. Oh, hold on, no, that's not right. Okay, with that... So, let's see if So with the... That would be 7 hours instead of the other one. So, that would mean 10 hours have passed since the dragon. Okay. So, that means I now need to calculate how far the dragon has come in its path of destruction. Okay. Alright, so you would not be able to see where the dragon currently is at the moment. So, ow, I hit the microphone. At this point in time, you manage to get to Tourmaline. At this point, though, it does seem like there is a bustle of movement. It seems like a couple people are kind of like looking at each other, antsy-like, and some of them are already getting on sled dogs and seem to be moving out. A couple people, though, or rather a large group of people, are headed towards the mines, it seems.
We need to...
Call out to them. Hey! Hey!
Among them, actually, you see the speaker. The half-orc gentleman. Oh, it's you four. Or five. Kind of gives Velen a good look.
Hey, so you know about the problem that's coming this way at this point, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Speaker Matthew kind of like looks you up and down. Yeah, we received word from Bryn Shander. The trader, Torga, actually brought in a couple of her crew and gave us the news herself.
There's a little bit of a complication to that. The people who made the dragon have some intentions of sabotaging the mines. So...
Damn, the mines? Shit.
Yep.
Do the kobolds have any traps set up in there that townsfolk know about, but others might not?
I'm sure they do. I know I oversaw some of them construction myself.
Then you might want to check the traps for anything that might have got caught in them.
Ah, hells. Alright, everybody! Either head, pack up your things, or get your family out of the mines. We're all heading to Bryn Shander. Move out, everyone! And everyone starts to move
These
out.
These guys can turn invisible too, so I guess keep an ear out as well.
Watch for footprints that appear randomly in the snow, too.
There's problems at every turn. Sort of not making things easier.
No, but we're trying.
Oh, well, you certainly are. Sorry, I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming the damn Duergar. Thank you, though. You keep doing us some damn favors. We really gotta repay you even more some of these days. Alright, if you, I don't know how long till the dragon gets here, but you're welcome to stay and help some of the people get out of town, if you don't mind. Out of the mines, too, as well.
Okay, this is probably a good place. It's a good place to make a stand, I guess.
Might I really quick, is Targos or Bryn Shander the one that sacrifices people?
Both of them do.
Both of them do. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, and East Haven.
Oh, all the big ones.
All the
Right.
biggest ones. Because you imagine, from what it's been explained to you before, they have the most mouths to feed.
Right.
Well, don't let any of those brain shander shitheads sacrifice you.
Oh, well, the new moon's not for a while. We'll be fine. I hope.
Yeah, let's hope you can get back to Tourmaline before then.
I'll make damn sure of it. He kind of gives you a nod and a wink.
Alright. Is there any chance of us, now that we've gotten here, of taking a short rest to prepare?
You sure can.
I
Okay.
think.
Can't get anything back on a short rest, though.
Yeah.
Long rest.
I think we might need to take that step, yeah. Like, do we have a tiny hut still?
Yes.
It might be worth doing that so that we don't get stabbed by dwarves.
Right.
Yeah. And my tiny hut is it's a ritual, so I don't need a spell slot for that.
Excellent.
Alright, if we do that, I only need a short rest to get my runes back and my second wind and action surge. If I want my giant's might, my roar, and my runic shield back, I will need a long rest.
I think we all, like, none of us get spell slots back on a short rest
Right.
Okay.
or other features. So,
Oh, good. I get my channel divinity back at least. That's good.
So let's aim for a long rest then.
All right. I will say, in the middle of your long rest, a messenger comes in that the dragon, at this point, has gotten to East Haven. But, or rather, no. The dragon was in East Haven in the middle of your long rest. It has taken the dragon quite a few hours in its desolation of East Haven, taking a lot longer than you probably had thought it would.
oh my god, if it got damaged and returned to the dwarven settlement, to whatever it's called, it's gonna
There's no way they can
explode.
repair it now.
I mean, yeah, but like, we could have just waited for it. It's gonna have to explode.
All right. But of course, eventually you get another messenger. Obviously, you're getting some sleep in, so really you're not losing any sleep from these messages. But you are
Right.
constantly being informed of the progress. And now I need to do a little bit more calculations. Let's see here.
Let's look through the Artificer spell list.
Oh, right. What spells do I want to prepare for all of this?
I hope Marta is alright. And not, like,
Well, a little bit into your rest, you do hear the panting of and like squeaking of Merte, exhausted as she plops right next to you.
That's quite impressive.
The Yeti type pops his head up. And so does
Go
Bean.
get some rest, Marte.
She doesn't even move, she just flops belly up.
Oh, yeah. But it's like a horrible spiky bird tongue.
Yeah. Bean as well kind of pops his little bushes out from the
Sled.
from the sled, yeah.
The sled.
Well, it's good. Well, that was a trek and a half.
Alright, there was a bit of a panic.
Yeah, no, I noticed. Yeah, it's looking real bad out there.
Well, then you'd understand why we rushed.
Oh no, I certainly do.
I've just discovered something horrible
Mm-hmm.
and wonderful. Artificers get Sanctuary,
Yeah.
so that's fine.
Artificers get sanctuary. Oh god.
Do they actually? That's hilarious.
I think so.
Or is it a
Like, it
specific
doesn't
subclass?
make sense. I don't think it is. I think it's like. I think it might be basic.
I imagine that the artifice you would invent to do that is one of those little spinny hypnotism wheels, and you would spin it as things approach, and be like, "You don't want to attack me."
It's like Skinnock's goggles have.
Yeah. Artificer basically get sanctuary, like just because.
We're awesome like that. Let's see. What are the subclasses? What does the artillerist get? It's good stuff, but it's not like. I already got this in. Yeah. We get snare. Snare could be funny.
Don't mind.
I'm sorry, I interrupted conversation.
No. Don't be sorry. Keep in mind, I'm keeping track of the dragon's flight path, so 16.
Well, I'm also dealing with spells as well, so it's not like people aren't doing anything. So as long as you're talking, the people who are listening aren't listening to the silence of us humming and hawing over our
Yeah.
stuff. So
True.
keep those viewers interested.
Well, let me see here. So, okay.
I need y'all to be real with me. How likely is it that we can lure a dragon into a snare?
Unlikely. Especially without our psychic barbarian.
Oh,
We are
sad.
just a snared mecha dragon.
Right. Well, that's even less likely, I think.
Yeah, let's see. Alter Self is useful. Arcane Lock might be useful. No, not right now. Blur?
Okay.
Does anybody get Earthbind?
What level is Earthbind?
I believe it's second level.
Druids get it. I don't know if anybody else does, but I can double check.
Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock, Wizard.
Nope, none of those.
Almost all the real casters.
Eldritch Knight gets it.
Oh, is it a... What type of spell is it? Abjuration?
No, it's Transmutation.
Well, the Eldritch Knight and the Arcane Trickster get like a few picks that are not
right.
tied to their
Would I be able to like figure out what those items are that we got?
Sure, you can definitely take an hour from that.
Yeah.
You definitely had a... Yeah, you would have had some time, for sure. So,
Yeah.
obviously, the Cloak of Elvenkind, you know more about. You obviously got an inkling of it before. So, the Cloak of Elvenkind... Let me quickly look that up. So, Cloak of Elvenkind requires attunement, which I'll say you would have had time to attune as well. I'll give you that at least. You would see here... Wisdom perception checks made to see you have disadvantage, and you have advantage on dexterity stealth checks made to hide. Pulling the hood up or down requires an action.
Hmm.
So that's specifically to see you. So, for example, if something had blind sight, it wouldn't necessarily count. Or if something was attracted to you by smell, for instance.
Yeah.
But sight-based has disadvantage.
Interesting.
And the wand is a wand of web.
That's a fun one.
Are you using your identify to do that, or are you
You can take basically 30
tuning?
minutes or an hour to basically either attune or identify an item. So there's time. I'll let that be a thing.
Yeah.
Let me post the wand of web in here for your sake. So the
Wand
wand,
of web could be useful.
yeah, wand has 7 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to spend one of its charges to cast the web spell, say DC 15. Gains 1d6 plus 1 expended charges daily at dawn. Expend the last charge of the day, roll a d20. On a 1, the wand crumples into ashes and is destroyed.
Maybe we could hit the thing with web and hope that it like forces it to land.
Oh, the it requires attunement by a spellcaster as well for the wand.
Right. Okay.
And as well, the cloak, which also requires attunement. So, what are your thoughts before we get to the end of your rest?
Feel like Canuck could use both of those.
Be sneaky, scary snuck. Okay. Ah, God. I can put on the smoking jacket. Have a garish scepter and a silk cloak. Yeah, we definitely need some way of like forcing it to land, and that's probably our best method outside of. I guess I just learned with myself. Is my spell save DC higher than 15? No, it is exactly 15. Yeah. 60-foot range.
I think if we use the web on the dragon, it'll fall.
Yeah, it's just a question of hitting it, because it's got a 60-foot range. What's the highest spot in Termline?
Good question.
Maybe on top of the mine cave, or one of the buildings.
Let me take a quick look at the map of Tourmaline for you, and I will give you an answer.
Is web concentration? Yes, it is. Shit,
Ah, the spellcaster's bane.
The druid's
Why
bane.
is it every caster class I pick up is just concentration?
Because lots of spells are concentration.
Yeah, some of the best ones are because they really want to balance it. Okay, so the highest point in
Except for
Tourmaline
clerics.
is probably Town Hall. Town Hall, it doesn't give me an exact size for it, but I'm going to say it's probably going to be like 3 stories tall, so like maybe like 30 feet high.
Interesting. So if we could get on top of that, and then we'd have a range of 60 feet with the wand, I assume, because that's the range of the spell. Yeah. So we could hit something 90 feet in the air. I want, like, do we think it's gonna work? Is that gonna be close enough? Yeah, that's my only.
Your only thought?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Is that like we try to web it down from the air, and then beat on it. I hope that we can kill the little bastard.
All right. So,
Would it be possible to cast Oh, sorry. Never mind.
I was just gonna ask, where you guys taking this long rest? Are you taking it in the mines? Are you taking it in the town somewhere? Or this is very important.
I would think we would take it out in the town because we know that there's the Duergar trying to sabotage the mines.
Indeed, and you do see. I will say you will see during this long rest, some of the people from the mines being brought out and trying as best as they can to find either sleds to let them move out quickly with their families, or at the very least, try and break out on foot. So, in that case, you're in town. I will say, Speaker Master will give you access to Town Hall, if you so desire.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. I do have one final question. I do have one question for you, though.
Yes.
Can Featherfall be cast without, like, as a normal thing instead of being a reaction?
I'd probably say no to that. That'd probably be just the normal normal reaction to the spell, unfortunately.
So, what are you trying to use it for?
I was thinking of having it as, like, insurance against, being up in the tower trying to shoot down a dragon. But if
So-
I'm also, like, holding my action for it to be on a strafing run, then I might just have to eat 3
you wouldn't need to hold your action. Like, if you started falling, you could just use the reaction. Like, you wouldn't need to worry about anything
No,
about
he's
concentration.
saying holding his action takes a reaction.
Oh, what?
But if you're using the feather fall, then you lose the reaction, and you wouldn't have the strafing.
Right.
But
That's what I mean, right? Like,
if you're falling out the tower, you're probably not going to be strafing it anyway until.
no, I'm not strafing it. I'm saying, like, if it's doing this thing, like, if it's doing the smart thing, it's going to be flying, like, above normal reach, spitting fire down, or whatever it spits. And so, like, the hope is that by being, like, a bit elevated, I'll be able to hold my action until it flies overhead and hit it with a, web or whatever the spell ends up being. Because I don't know if it lands or if it's going to be flying around. My assumption is that I'll have to hold my action for that because it won't be. We won't be so lucky as for it to be, like, ending its turn in range of me.
Right, I see. So, in that case, if you wanted to hold your action to cast web as it was, waiting for it to go by, and do Featherfall, I'd say if we were going to do this outside the confines of combat, I will say this: if you roll a high enough stealth roll, I will let you go through with this plan. Does that sound fair to you?
I mean, it does. The alternative is that, like, 30 feet is what? It's not like the end of the world in terms of fall damage. So
Right. But,
might be-
if you, like I said, if you succeed well on the stealth check, I will let this go through.
okay, then I'll see what I can do with various things.
Okay.
That sounds good.
All right. Now, before we continue on, does anyone else have anything they wish to do before we end this long rest?
I'm double checking my spells. I think maybe I'd like do some sort of like a prayer for the people who did die in Dugan's Hold, Goodmead, East Haven, Caerdenville, Caerkonig, and Lonelywood.
All right. You mutter out the words that Eldath has given you, that you know by heart. And you feel kind of like a warmth in your heart. You feel that your words have been heard. And Eldath is watching over you. Scales. Is there anything that you would like to do before the long rest is over? As you're slowly coming to consciousness?
Not really. Seeing as how I can't really change anything over a long rest, I'm just planning and contingency planning what I want to do within this time.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, and how about for you, Hawks?
I think Hawks is getting everything he needs just from actually taking the rest. So I don't know that there's much more to do with that.
Okay.
Am I still attuned to the mirror?
You should be, yes.
It's in Lonelywood.
Correct.
The dragon has passed through Lonelywood by now, right?
No,
Okay.
No, it's not yet on that route yet, no.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it hits Tourmaline first, and then Lilywood.
Correct.
oh really? Oh, okay. I thought it went up and then came down and then went over. It's going from Cariconic to Turner. Okay. Got it. I see what the path is. It's like this.
Sort of just counterclockwise.
As you awaken, a streak of terrifying radiant energy blasts the edge of town. Y'all feel the rumble as splintering wood and the screams of the people around that are still trying to escape fill the air. The dragon has arrived. It has not yet reached Town Hall, but is currently heading in your general direction. You still have maybe a minute or two to prepare for its arrival.
Can I climb up with Skanak?
Sure can. And I'm going to bring you to a map.
A map? No.
Yes. So, ignore the fire.
Is this our ally that had the dogs?
Indeed, she is there. She is currently at the ready. She's currently sticking to the shadows with her wand at the ready. All right. So, if both of you are going to attempt to hide, I will need both of you to make stealth checks for me, please.
So, I'd be using the cloak.
I'm gonna bless Scales, Skinnock, and Hawks.
Alright. Let's use it on Kobolds. Okay. Okay.
Okay, that was Scales. Okay. That is a very good roll. Scales, as you try and scamper up on the top of the roof, your claw snags on some of the ice, and you manage to slip, clambering down some of the shingles of the roof. You almost kind of like clang to the edge, and you pull yourself back up. You watch at this point as the dragon shows itself.
Would it be possible to have? I was away for a moment, so would it be possible to have my cannon on the ground somewhere, or should I just do that in a moment?
No. You can have your cannon on the ground for sure. Just put it wherever you want.
Yeah.
We just lost Steven.
Oh shit.
No.
Hey, Evan.
Yes.
can I major image a chimney around myself?
You sure can, buddy.
List of kicks.
Suddenly, a new chimney is added to the roof. It's quite stylish looking, Sanook.
Ooh. Excellent construction.
Yeah, it even matches the decor, but a little bit fancier.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alright. I'll let you roll that again.
If we're gonna have to wait for Steven for a second, I'm gonna be right back.
Sure thing.
LOL.
Lol.
It's still an 8.
That's okay. It still can't see you directly because you're technically under quote unquote cover.
Cover.
It can at least it does
Right.
hear you though, or hear something.
Yeah. Amongst everything else that it hears.
Right, which is a lot. So you probably won't be directly under attack. Probably.
Skunkus like doing the Frodo and Sam thing where they're high on the stone slope and then next to him there's a chimney.
Exactly. How'd that get there? So the dragon, its wings as it flaps fill the air with a clanging and an awful racket. As it lets kind of like a sort of terrible wheezing sound fills the air. As it flies, a streak of radiant light follows in its path, emanating and exuding from its knight-like visor. You notice it seems to be on a direct flight path in a straight line in the center of the road that you're going on, oblivious to you specifically, but seemingly on a general war path. And as it flies, around 60 feet in the air,
Oh.
it's about to let loose a terrible breath before...
Yep, webbing it. Get webbed.
Web. Alright, so for the sake of this, I'm going to say it anchors between one of these buildings that are in the area. Or like, you can choose whichever one you want that to anchor towards.
Alright. I want to see if we can't like get it between. Yeah, onto this one here. I think is good.
Alright, so that is also a 20-foot cube.
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4. So around. Oh, that color is going to blend right in. I'm going to choose a better color. Yeah, that's better.
I need to change mine as well. Now Sam.
There we go. That's more visible. Alright. So it needs to make a dexterity saving throw to avoid being entangled in the web. Okie dokie. As the dragon crashes into the webbing, its wings get stuck, and it scrabbles against the web, but only gets itself more tangled until it is almost like a miniature cocoon. It is restrained. And I need now everyone to roll initiative as the fight to save 10 Towns begins.
Wow.
Oh.
You'd be like that.
And I just blessed. Give me any extra rolls for that. No. It's attack rolls and saving throws.
Okay, so initiative is high.
Hawks watches the thing get webbed and is like, okay, now do we attack it? Is it, wait, now?
Yeah, and before we get into the swing of things properly, do you guys think like damage output or temporary healing from the cannon?
I think
Damage output. Meepo doesn't have damage output, so she'll be focusing healing.
Fair enough.
yeah.
Taking up for Meepo's slack.
Also, Murta's here.
Also, much is here.
Oh, poor Martha now. She called that.
It's okay, I can make Merte.
As if she could ever resist such a challenge.
We need to find a way to get that bird flying. No, we don't. That's terrifying.
Too much power. Yes, it'll be a force ballistic. That's another 120
Path
foot
of the
range
Eagle
thing.
Barbarian. So big it's flying.
Okay, so I believe that is everyone.
We
Okay.
could teach her to ride like a Burma flying.
Oh gosh. That means
Winged
Scales,
saddle.
you are actually first.
SARS arrived.
Sorry, I have spaghetti on this stove.
Spaghetti.
Okay.
Ooh. Ah. A wise decision, as we'll no doubt try and escape the next turn. Ooh. Not a bad roll either. Not a bad roll. Okay. Okay. As you ring out...
Followed.
Go ahead. Followed by... Of course, because that's just a bonus action.
Land.
Mmm. Mmm. Okay.
Didn't we already force it down? Or is this like to keep
It's
it
stuck
down?
in web.
Yeah, it's stuck in the web, which is probably good considering it might try and escape the webbing. Let's see here. Which is fine, because if it doesn't escape, it'll probably just stay there. But if it does, it's a good backup.
Well, if it fails the command, it won't get the chance to try.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, wisdom saving throw. Ooh. That would be a -2. So no.
It is designed to take commands.
Exactly. With its mechanical nature, it's almost like Zardarak himself is commanding it from the grave. So we'll try its best to land on its turn.
And then I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okie dokie. Is that your turn, Scales?
Yes.
Very well then. It is now the Chardalyn Dragon's turn. Now let me look at Web again. It's going to use its action to make a strength check against your spell save DC. If you succeed, it is no longer restrained. Okay.
It's a strength check?
Yep, a strength
shit.
check apparently to try and escape the webbing.
Oh.
Which is actually good in this case because it actually gets a bonus to its strength save, so it actually gets less of a bonus because of this.
I just thought it was all saving dexterity saves. But it is also
Dex
strength
save
check, so
to
it's
avoid getting into it, but a strength check to
Yeah.
get out.
So, it manages to escape from the webbing. However, I believe there's more to the spell. I believe it's still difficult terrain. It's just to break free. The webs are flowers. They lightly obscure the area. Either starts its turn or enters them during its turn. Okay. So the dragon, true to its nature, is going to try and attempt to land. Because it already used action, it can't do anything. So, as it lands right in front of your turret, its head snaps in all directions, and you see its mouth start to glow.
I suggest we move.
It's now Muerte's turn. She ain't gonna move. No! She rages as she flies over all of you with a great leap and lands next to the creature. She is going to take some swipes at it. Now that the creature is closer, you do notice that the dragon has some small amount of damage inflicted upon it. You also notice some scorch marks that are on its hide as well. It seems there is perhaps something of an arcane nature against the creature, thrown against the creature. Which means that was key in describing this, because that means Muerte gets advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so for attack. Okay, a 15. Does that hit the creature? Unfortunately, it seems like the hide is too hard for Muerte to get a proper hold in, as her beak chips slightly and she screams and honks in fury. That is unfortunately her turn. Skanuk.
Alright. Well, is it still like in the web? Is the web like falling down onto it now?
Let me see here. Let me double check that. It's either if it starts its turn there, or enters them during its turn. So not if it ends its turn there. But it is still in the webbing technically. It's large enough to still fit in that
Right.
area.
Right, so it would still be like in the space. So that's good because it means that it's, it'll probably have to make the save again on its next turn. If it fails, then it'll waste its action.
Indeed, and because it wasn't able to move anywhere else either because it was forced to land.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, let's just go ahead and start messing up, I guess. I'm gonna cast Shatter, probably?
Ooh.
10-foot radius sphere, handy dandy sphere.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that damage then. Because it's made of inorganic material, I believe it gets disadvantage on its saving throw.
It does. I feel like Scorching Ray may actually be better long term, but this is going to be a fun one.
Alright.
Damage from Shatter is... Where are you?
Ooh, that is an 11. So yeah, it's gonna fail that saving throw.
So 14 thunder plus arcane firearm damage. So 21 thunder damage.
Oof. Ow. The web seemed to part slightly as a booming of thunderous energy radiates throughout the space. The creature, it definitely took it as a solid blow, and now I can actually reveal how much damage the creature has taken. Because, in its travels, the dragon takes a little bit of damage. It has taken, approximately, this much.
Is that including the shatter or before the shatter?
That is including the shatter.
Okay. Honestly, we might have pulled this off if we'd gone right for it. No, I shouldn't say that. It hasn't attacked us yet. Yeah. So, having baited Murphy there.
We also wouldn't have had the wand of web if we had gone right for it.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's just a tuning. That's not like. That's only
We
1
wouldn't
hour.
have even had it.
Oh, I see what you mean. No, I meant like if we hadn't done a long rest after the fortress, we might still
right.
pull it off. Maybe. Okay,
I
so
wouldn't have
now
had any
Force
spells.
Ballista? Yeah. It would have been rough. So Force Ballista takes its shot, which is flat because it's next to someone and next to it.
Mm-hmm. Oof. Yeah, that hits. And it gets pushed 5 feet.
I'm not sure if that applies to giant creatures, but I'll take it.
It doesn't say, so
Oh wow, it really doesn't. It just says if the target is a creature.
Mm-hmm. Which it certainly is.
That's
What's
fun.
wrong?
So you watch as this large, gigantic, constructed dragon matches against your own handiwork, and it seems that your handiwork is superior, as it pushes the dragon 5 feet back with its own force,
Further into the web.
further into the web.
Yes. Further into web hell.
It seems you might be able to prove who is the superior craftsman.
Indeed.
Alright, so is that your
Right, yeah.
turn?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. It is now Valin's turn. She is a... She kind of like looks at her own kind of wand, kind of tucks it and brandishes it slightly, blows on it. Whew. Don't fail me now. She will cast a spell. And let me double check something here. Let's see here. There's something that I forgot, but that is fine. Alright. You watch as the creature seems like some of that radiant energy is being drained from its very essence as she casts blight on it.
Spicy.
Okay. You watch as now that the dragon seems to have gotten a better handle on itself, you notice that it starts to flare up slightly. And it gains some sort of power over magic. It now gets advantage on saves against magical effects.
That's gonna make this ugly. Okay.
From it having been attacked by a magic?
More like I read over the ability and forgot that it was there.
Well,
Because I'm bad at
Okay.
reading.
c'est la vie.
Alright.
It had that function turned off.
Yeah, I'm basically kind of ruling it as because you basically caught it by surprise, you had to activate it, quote unquote. That's how I'm gonna rule this.
Right. That's okay.
Fuck you
I always
mode
forget that.
activated.
Oh shit.
You fucking what, mate?
There's something else here as well. As Valin reaches out to cast the spell, the dragon seems to exude this strange aura along with that magic resistance. Valin needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
How far out does the aura seem to go?
At least as far
Does
as
it
she's
seem like
standing right
everybody's? Does it seem like everybody's affected by it?
now. Right now it does.
Oh.
Well, actually, hold on. Scales, no. It's everyone that's like really close to it. So, like, I'd
Okay.
say Scales is on the very edge of it.
Scales and
Like-
Skinnock.
Scales and Skinnock, yes. So they're fine.
So like a 30-foot sphere or something?
Something like that. But she succeeds. You see her kind of like shake her head. Shit! Stay away from it! And she kind of like hops over this way, but she's still gonna get her spell off. Dragon. Double check her spell save DC just to be sure. Okay, so it does succeed her save, so it will take half.
Good thing I put bless on hawks.
Alright, here. That is 8d8. So half of that. Oof. So half of that. Owie.
Blight squad, blight squad, blight squad.
Okay. The creature is now starting to crack a little bit the seams. The villain kind of shouts out, "Stay away from it! There's some strange charming effect!" Ugh. That is her turn, though.
I just had this sudden, mental image of, the visor folding down slightly and then, pinching a gigantic rose in between the visor and the rest of the helmet.
It's too attractive! Ugh.
It's everything I've ever dreamed of.
Alright, that is her turn, though. Meepo, it's now your turn.
Well, I think I can do something about that.
But, however, though, because I keep forgetting, I will need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Being in the area.
Correct.
I put the bless on 3 people, right? So I can put it on those 3. Yep, I don't have it on myself.
Alright.
So I don't.
Alright, what do you got for me? Okay, 23, you're fine. You feel this weird malevolence seep over your body. A complete anathema to your every belief under Eldath. For a second,
Immediately respond with this.
Ooh.
Absolutely not.
For a moment, it seems as if you feel violence towards your allies, but no. You are a priest of Eldath. No, you will do no such thing.
Bless is gone, but you guys have Aura of Purity if you're within this range for me. And I'm going to move in towards the building a little bit, kind of giving it less of a chance to use cones on me.
Okay, you're taking a little bit of cover, alright.
Yeah. And I'm trying to make sure I can see the people who are going to be in melee range, and let me put my aura on so that people can see it. It's a 30-foot radius?
Yes, 30 foot.
So, and as long as you have it so that they can see the auras, they should be able to see that.
Alright, let me make it so that others can see it on my side. Or rather on their sides, rather.
Right.
Alright, now everyone should be able to see it.
Yep.
Shiny people.
Also, I'm going to move the camera a little bit. Okay. That's your turn, Meepo?
Yeah, for now.
Alright, Hawks. You feel that same malevolence wash over you. I need your own wisdom saving throw. Okay. Where's the advantage coming from?
From Aura of Purity.
Oh, yes! Very good. I miss... let's see.
Against Charmed.
Ah,
Right.
excellent.
That's why I said absolutely not.
Perfect. And with that, you also feel that wave pass over you. You are fine.
So, at this present moment, in the state that this dragon is webbed and on the ground, would I get advantage on attacks against it?
It is currently not webbed at the moment. It will have to repeat the save on the start of its next turn, though.
Okay. In that case, I am going to run forward, and I am going to start with a roar. So, advantage against it. And I will draw my Bloodfang Javelin. And I'm going to assume that since this thing is, full of fieriness, that maybe ice will actually work against it. It's still the better option compared to the Battle Axe at the moment. So, 20.
20 will hit.
Alright, 4 piercing and 6 cold.
Alright.
And a con save from it.
As you strike the creature, it seems like the cold doesn't seem to give it much thought, as it is made from black ice.
Alright, well, it's the weapon I have drawn.
Alright. We'll still take
Also, this is magical damage. I'm going to assume that non-magical physical is not going to do great either.
a fair assessment, as it seems like it did a lot.
So I will swing again, and a 14.
Okay, 14, unfortunately, that will miss.
Okay. And with that, I'm not going to do anything else. That is what I will do.
Okay. Gales, it is back to you.
Okay. Let's go ahead and go with this again.
Okay. Okay. And as your main action,
We are going to do let's see, we're gonna do grovel.
Alright, so it's gonna get advantage on this, but much like its dexterity, does not seem to be a very wise creature. So it's up to chance. Unfortunately, it does
That
not
looks like a
seem.
failure to me.
Indeed, it does not seem like the creature is able to deny you.
Also, if it can't understand me, it can because of my eloquence bard nature.
Interesting. Okay.
I was about to say something about that last time you cast the spell, but I decided not to because I thought, oh, you can speak Draconic. Maybe it can speak Draconic.
That's actually a really fun combo. I quite like that.
Using command on literally anything you want.
Yes.
That's great.
Unless it's like what?
Alright. So, you watch as the dragon's knees begin to shake and shimmy. A dragon about to grovel to a kobold. A charlotte one, but a dragon nonetheless. Is that your turn?
That's it.
Alright then. Fun times ahead.
It's in the webs.
It is in the web, which means it needs to make another saving throw. With advantage.
I have time.
Oh, come on! Well, okay.
Oh.
Still, grovel, cower, and big, so, you know. The dragon falls prone, though, and ends its turn regardless.
Stephen, can you lean back a little bit?
Sorry. My
No problem. It's just-
microphone is just up.
Right. No problem.
Alrighty. My, how we turn tables. Muerte
That's the dragon's
Blanca,
sentence.
Muerte Blanca.
Now, Muerte is already full of murderous rage, so I kind of wonder what effect this would have on her if she failed.
Oh no. She just beat
Yeah.
us.
You fool, you've activated my trap card.
Alright, well, hang on, let's see.
She has
Okay.
advantage.
Oh, right, she does. Right.
She's in my aura.
A 13 is not enough.
Wait, hang on.
Yes.
Within 30 feet of me. Hang on, how close is Mortway?
Within 30 feet.
Within 30
Is
feet?
she close enough, with including the height?
Yes.
Well, it's the shortest distance of the two, so either height or...
yeah, we're not
enough.
including Euclidean geometry in D&D.
Fair enough.
Alright?
No, the dragon! Hit the dragon! It's weak. It's vulnerable.
as Muerte has her brain blast, she refocuses what would have been an attack against Hawks onto the dragon. Huh.
Actually, if she had hit me, this still would have been an attack on the dragon, but that's neither here nor there.
I mean, I know, but, I would have, let me have my... I know what you're planning to do. Rune Knight's fun. All your classes are fun. It's a good time.
I really like Flash of Genius. It's already getting a workout.
Yep. That's 22
So
to
fun.
hit the dragon.
Yes, Morte is now enraged even more because it's magically enraged by the dragon.
Which, of course, it will take half because it does seem to resist non-magical attacks. But still.
We need to put
The
a magic
spear was a
beak
good
on that
choice,
axe.
even if it's not taking the cold.
Indeed. Which means it's back to you, Skanuk.
Morte checks? I'll have to think of a name for a cereal brand. Let's see.
Muerte Munch.
Oh,
Yes!
there you go. So,
Grab yourself
just
a
a
bowl
bunch
of
of, like,
Blanca.
It's just a bunch of like little skulls.
With axes in
Ah.
them.
Right. So if he's got advantage against the web, it's probably not doing a massive, like a spectacular job at the moment. So I'm going to use the property of the web that makes it hurt things if it's set on fire.
Oh,
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
for reference, I'll post web again for reference. 2d4 fire damage any creature that starts its turn in fire. Just a little bit more.
okay.
Yes.
It will burn the web away
that-
for that little section. But,
Yeah, it burns the web away in a round, but
but still, damage.
that means it would actually. That's actually fun because it would still be there on its turn. It would only vanish at the start of fine.
Oh, right, because it's only like a 5 square section per turn, yeah?
Oh, really?
Let me double check.
Something
That's
like
even.
Any 5-foot
Yeah,
cube
any-
of webs, yeah.
That's even more brutal. Okay, I'm going to. I'm going to be casting Scorching Ray.
that. As one
Okay.
does.
And all of.
You will have... It's a straight roll because disadvantage from prone, but your ally is next to it.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So Scorching Ray and normal. Zap.
Owie.
Yep.
That certainly hits. That will miss, unfortunately.
Hey.
17 just hits.
Is that its AC then?
That is its AC.
Cool.
Not great. But okay.
And then another that much.
Oh, yes, I'll add that as well.
Yep, because of that. Yep. And hopefully there's only like a couple of the cubes of fire or cubes are on fire. And then finish my turn with a Force Ballista Blast, which I guess would also be straight. Bonk. Ah, that's a shame. That was a good roll.
That is a darn shame. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Never mind. I was going to say something, but no, never mind, it cancels out. Alright, is that your turn?
Yeah, I'm assuming that like there's nothing metallic on that creature, right? It's all made of ice.
Chardolin... It is a strange sort of material. It's not quite metal. It's definitely made from some sort of crystalline substance that is like hardened to be as hard as metal, but it's not technically metal.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Alright, so I'll restrain heat metal for now. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. That will be my turn.
Does that mean it's now Valin's turn?
Actually, a little bit of movement.
Alright, let me see. What is she gonna do? Let me see here. Okay. So she is going to hold out her wand again, and a sickly green ray will shoot out at the creature. As she casts Ray of Sickness. Which unfortunately will bounce against the creature's armor. Blast! She will kind of retreat a little bit further back. Meepo, you start within the creature's aura. I'm going to need you to make another wisdom save. But you have warp priority with advantage.
Advantage, there it is. Wisdom.
25. That malevolent aura passes over you again, but you resist it.
Gonna cast Sanctuary on myself. And then I'm going to go closer to it. Think that this is the range for this thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I don't think I have to go too much closer. I can go to there. It's still within 10 feet, right?
Oh, yeah, that still works.
No, this is how you grovel, cower, and beg.
You're groveling. I'm gonna grovel even further. Like this, like this.
Well, it looks over at me kind of distracted.
The only response it
Which
gives
is-
you is this weird kind of like pawing of its legs and a creaking of all the chartolin on its body.
Just in case it stands up later. And then it'll have advantage for anybody at that point, hopefully.
Alright.
No need to roar.
Hux Hagnar.
Wisdom save. Is there anything I can add to that?
Looks over at Skanuk.
was already okay. Yeah, so you get a +4.
Okay, so 16.
A 16 just passes.
That's a pretty tough save, yeah.
Remember, this is a creature that's meant to be a threat. You've kind of curb stomped it with a very well-timed trap.
I wouldn't say we've curb stomped it yet. We did a good chunk of his health at first, but it's kind of lagging on this last third.
Well,
Right.
let's see if I can do something about that.
Time for some chop.
Yeah, so first things first is Hawks is going to activate his Giant's Might and go big.
Alrighty.
In terms of space I might need to flank Muerte and end up over here.
Alright.
And I'm also going to Action Surge right away.
Alright.
So that's going to be 4 Javelin attacks. Again, using the Magical Javelin because my non-magical Battle Axe won't do as much to it. So, bam. That's not good.
That's unfortunate.
Interesting.
Bless.
There we go.
You do have Bless. Oh, no, you don't have Bless. It's dropped because I switched to the R.
Right, yeah.
So
I didn't
7
find out
piercing,
allies each other.
and then 5 piercing plus the D4 for giant. Or is it D4 or D6 for Giant's
I think it's a
Might?
D6 at this level.
It's a D6 normally. Okay, so it goes up to like something bigger later on. But okay, so it'll be 13 magical piercing.
Alright. The damage has been calculated. You are consistently wearing it down in its weakened state. It is showing signs of heavy damage. Is that your turn?
Yeah, not much more I can do than that.
Okay.
But
Well done, regardless. Sure, you missed a couple attacks, but what you did do did put a dent. Scales.
Oh my.
on, where did I put that darn thing?
Is it on you or the dragon? Just for clarity's sake.
It's on me.
Cool.
Right.
He's
Hang on.
Yetiing himself.
Yep.
I think I left it in the other map. 1 second.
From the top rope!
Did I not have a profile for it? I guess I didn't. Hang on 1 second. My apologies.
I like to imagine this is an ape that is Yeti-sized or slightly bigger and white.
That's exactly how I imagine it.
It's basically
Mini Yeti.
that rampage.
Alright, they're gonna give you access to the token. I'm gonna try and keep it this time.
And I will.
Right, there you go.
I will jump and land on top of the dragon.
Okay. You are now on top of the dragon. Yeehaw! Okay. Huh.
Yeah, I like that.
Alright. So you're not able to grapple onto it, but you are riding on top of it, because you used your action to polymorph. So, it's gonna, let's see. I'm gonna have it do something on its turn. So is that your turn, though?
Yes. Does anything happen if I jump into the web?
I was gonna ask that.
No, because it's either, oh wait, no, it's when you enter the area for the first time. So you will have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Web concentration.
It is.
Right, because it's a druid spell.
Do you want to drop it as he does this? You can drop it any time.
Yeah, it's 2d4 fire damage. It's not a huge deal.
Alright, cool. In that case, you do not need to make a save, Caleb.
Okay.
Awesome. We're just gonna move that out of here. No one needs to see that.
It's kind of meant for him anyway.
Well, you could have waited for him to finish the save and then checked.
I could have. I'm sorry. I should have done that.
Anyway,
That's
either
fine.
way.
It's all good. So, never mind. We don't need to worry about that. So it's now the dragon's turn. I'm gonna say the dragon needs to make a strength save. Or it'll only be able to move half movement from being under your body.
Is it still prone, right?
It's still prone, so it'll move very, very little if it fails this. What's What's your spell save DC, Scales? 14? Yeah, 14. Okay, it says in the polymorph.
It's not really a magical effect, though, so that's something.
Yeah.
There's nothing magical about having a monkey sitting on you.
No, nothing magical at all.
That monkey off your back.
I'm sorry, what do you ask?
Oh no, it's fine. It's I was going to ask what your spell save DC was, but I see it's listed under polymorph. Is it 14 or is it higher than that?
It's 14.
It's 14. Okay, just double checking. Because if it failed that, I was gonna have it move like half movement, which is would have been like double half, because it's getting up from prone. So it's instead only gonna have it that movement speed. So it is going to get up and fly into the air, which means it's not disengaging, which means attacks of opportunity from Muerte, Hawks, and the ape.
18.
18 hits.
Oh,
Pierce.
yes. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh,
Yes.
all right, because you still have advantage. Yes, from the grovel.
Oh,
No, I was just debating, like, wait a minute, I have a lot of reactions, but if it's getting up and trying to fly away, I don't think I'm going to use any of them at the moment.
Can a reaction attack be replaced by a grapple check?
It cannot.
Okay.
But you can punch it really hard, which you can and do.
There might
That's
be
11 damage.
feet or something that does.
11 damage. Not quite enough.
There's always Morte.
There is
There's always time for Morte to crit.
always a muerte. Muerte Blanca, flying through the snow. 18.
You know-
did it?
I'm kind of wondering at this point if, from what we've seen from Charlemagne, if Muerte maybe like ate some or something at some point.
The deep-
Plausible.
the deep lore.
That would be interesting.
She's a dire axe beak. Or a deep axe beak.
Let me see here. So that just doing that. That needs to change back to snap to center. So the dragon. Yeah, so 30. As it moves this way, you see the fiery, kind of radiant breath pulsing in its body. A wide spray erupts in your general area. This radiant white hot light that splinters the wood around you. I need... Let me see here. Yeah, I'm gonna move it slightly this way as it's doing this, so I can hit all... Actually, no. You know what? No. It's moving this way instead, so I can hit all of you. So, I need both Hawks and the Ape scales to make dexterity saving throws for me.
Alright, I have a +2 on this dexterity save for my shield. And if I pass it, I can reduce the damage to 0.
Hey, guess what the save was? 16.
16. Hawks takes 0 damage.
19.
Absorbs a lot of the damage for the ape.
And then Muerte also succeeds. Okay, so you instead take 13 points of radiant damage.
Radiant.
That could have been bad.
Oh man, I was expecting fire and
Nope.
thinking like, oh, I have resistance to that, and
Half expected like cold, but good lord, 78.
Like
It's no joke, man.
glass shards or something.
But despite
Yeah.
the half movement, it will get around 45 feet in the air, heading this direction.
Wave it
Well,
again.
if it wasn't heading home before, it's heading home now.
Go, hang on.
Just the range on the spell.
Hang on, double checking that. Around there, yep. Alright, that's its turn though. Morte's turn. She honks as she tries to scramble up the wreckage of the building. Huh! And ends her turn. Frustrated. Skanuk.
Let's see. The cannon goes after me, I believe, which is a shame because it would be funny if I could try to like plink it with the cannon first. But now that it's away from everyone, and I feel like I may have goofed slightly on the whole web situation, Skanuk is going to like very carefully line up a shot with his gun, to like attach a weird conical, implement to the front, and I'm going to cast Shatter again.
Okay. As it tries to fly away. Do-do-do. Oh, with
It doesn't have
disadvantage.
advantage, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
It would be at flat, but
it would be flat,
Still.
so still a 27, unfortunately. But it still takes half.
That's fine. It still takes half damage, and it still gets the arcane firearm damage. So Shatter deals
Ow.
18 damage.
very close.
Alright, so 16 minus
18 half to 9, I guess.
half to 9. Yeah. And then minus that. It still lives.
Is its current health like accurate? Ooh.
It is
Well.
basically falling apart as it's flying through the air.
And it just like swivels.
Once again, showing the superiority of kobold craftsmanship, this tiny little construct clanks around and then as the dragon erupts, bursting all at once from all angles, an implosion of radiant energy, shooting Chardolin out at every single direction. And the dragon is destroyed, and 10 Towns is safe once again. For now.
So, I'm gonna propose we get a bunch of kobolds to go around fixing up 10 towns. And give them work so that people will see them helping. And then, we can use that as like a work program for kobolds. Integrate them into the town populace.
Yeah.
I am proposing we get rid of as many of these flakes of Chardolin as we can.
Right,
'Cause
that's what
that
I was
thing had
actually
a-
wanting to do.
Because that thing had a mad, nasty aura.
I'm keeping my aura up while we do that.
Indeed, there is Charlin scattered all across the town at this point, just from the massive explosion that took place. You see some of the 10-towners that were trying to flee, at least weren't able to escape completely in time, managed to slowly come back in droves, kind of like looking at each other, kind of like just asking each other, "Is it safe? Is it over?" And
So
then
for the next 10 minutes, I would be walking around with everyone picking up Chardolin.
Yeah, I'm gonna recommend that you don't touch the material that came from the thing. This stuff, I'll hold up a piece of it. Like, don't touch. It's bad news.
but you're touching
Bad
it right
news.
now.
Yeah, well, I've got a cleric who's got an aura that is helping protect me for the time being.
Everyone get your
So-
snow shovels.
So yeah, I just don't touch it directly.
You see Speaker Matthew, kind of like stepping out from the crowd, just starts clapping. And the rest of the people start clapping with him. A roarous cheer erupts from all the town.
Oh, well, shucks.
Everyone
I'm
is
not
shouting
used to that.
everyone is shouting and cheering and laughter at all of your accomplishments. And with that, as you gather up all the Chardolin, and as you figure out what next need to do, Velen steps up to you. So about our arrangement. And I'm going to end the session here for tonight.
Hey.
So, okay, I want to point something out here, though.
Yes?
To this encounter, if Scales took all his damage in the giant ape form, the only person who took damage was Muerte.
Yep.
I didn't use any healing.
That was like
It was hilarious, really.
Scales just like shut that thing down. And
Yeah,
that
I
is
I
lovely.
was silently fuming, but also really proud and happy, because you guys deserve to win.
The sheer fact that I can increase my spell save DC from an additional 1 to 8 is insanity.
Vile. I love it.
Yeah, that's Eloquence Bard for you. It's a pretty fun subclass from what it looks like.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, man. All right, well, I'm gonna end the stream here. If you've been watching, thank you very much, and we'll see what happens in the future. I may decide to take a small break from Kobolds for just a little bit. Maybe I'll discuss with you guys first. So maybe we can do some fun Halloween stuff on Wednesdays for the rest of the month. But I'll talk with you guys about it. But until then,
Ooh.
see y'all next time. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Bye.